Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reiniger. I'm Jason Minix on a great Monday afternoon. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did some barbecuing this weekend. So did Joe.
So did I.
Saw a lot of people tweet us various things. Make sure you upload those at ESPNSA.com so you could be in the running for Grilling with the Blitz. Sending it to us on Twitter or tagging us on your Instagram, that's cool, but that doesn't get you in the running for that $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
Dude, let me tell you, yesterday might have been the most perfect day of the year. By far, it was nice and cool. The sun was out. It was just outstanding day that I just sat on my back patio and clicked. I think I wore out the batteries in my clicker.
You know, I did a brisket and went over to a friend's for a pool party. And early in the morning yesterday, I was a little worried about pool.
A little
right?
chilly, yeah.
But
yeah.
it turned into a great afternoon. And I thought, what a great day to be on the golf course. You know, and I hope we can duplicate this next weekend when we have our big San Antonio Sports Star Bragging Rights Golf Tournament out at the Golf Club of Texas. Although I just hope they invite us back after what Mike Jimenez did in one of these sand traps out there.
Dude, I don't know what he did. Was he like, did he get up like a cat afterwards and cover something up?
I've got so many questions. Now, I appreciate Mike Jimenez. And if you're watching us live on YouTube, he's in the other studio with James Pledger, sticking around, which is unusual for him, but he knows that we are about to have a field day at the benefit of one Mike Jimenez, who on Saturday night was in Austin collecting some hardware.
Yeah, congratulations to Jimenez.
And actually made it to the golf course for an 8:40 or 8:50 pre-9 a.m. tee time on Sunday.
Yeah.
Which means two things. He didn't get the hotel in Austin that he was talking about. So, you know, you pick up the hardware and instead of a road one, you've got to drive back. and then you wake up and you bring in breakfast tacos for everybody playing golf. But somewhere along the lines, while they were golfing, he decided to recreate his bluebonnet photo. He did his impersonation of Paige Sporaniak. It ain't the same, dude.
No, it's not even close. Are you kidding me?
It's not the same.
Except, I don't know. Jimenez has got that, how can I say this for radio friendly, that look on his face. It's that model type. I'm just a happy.
He wants the eye.
Yeah, something like that.
You
right?
looked at that, and that's what you got out of that
photo.
photo.
That's not exactly where I was going,
okay,
but it's kind of like
because that photo did not excite me one bit.
Dude, I mean, it's Jimenez. Does anything about Jimenez excite you?
Not really, no.
No.
Not like that.
But it was, I'm just surprised because, you know, you get in a sand trap like that, hitting out of one's hard enough. You're going to get sand all over you. But the fact that Jimenez is laying on a beach towel, I mean, was that a planned picture that these guys were? I mean, he had a beach towel at the golf course.
Well, and as I go to his Facebook page to try to find this photo so I can describe it accurately, because I've really tried to unsee it mentally.
Yeah.
But I look at this and one, who carries a towel that big in their golf bag?
Nobody.
And he tried to say that was James Pledger's idea to recreate that
It was.
photo. Oh, it was. See, I didn't believe that when I saw that. I now have even more questions. The question would be James Pledger either daring him because he knows Mike Jimenez would do it.
You don't have to dare Jimenez.
Yes.
I mean, he just say, hey, Jimenez, do it. And he's okay.
But then again, I also would like to be invited back to the golf course. But I mean, just the way he's holding his club or stick in the photo, just all of it. And who carries a beach towel in their golf bag?
Nobody. So that had to be planned. That was a phone call between Pledge and Jimenez saying, we're going to do this. And so Jimenez, don't forget your beach towel. And he didn't.
I just, the amount of sand because Mike Jimenez isn't getting up from that position very easily. So he collected sand in places.
He did.
And it's hot. You're a little bit sweaty, so it sticks.
Oh,
and on his
geez.
tweet, he says, at Spence ESPN SA looked on in horror.
Well, yeah, duh. Of course he did. I looked on in horror, and I didn't have to see it firsthand. It was only a picture.
And he's on your team for the golf tournament next week.
No, he's not.
He's not?
No, he's on your team.
Oh, crap.
See that? So he'll probably take another picture. Pledge is on your team, too.
Well, Pledge is apparently the photographer. It's a great photo. The scenes, the setting. It's a beautiful day to lay out in some sand.
All I heard, though, was that, a couple of things, right? I mean, Jimenez didn't play very well. I heard that. I don't know how Pledge played. I'm assuming he played well.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that Spence was hot and cold.
It's typical.
And that my team lost a player.
To Taylor Swift.
Well, yeah, how do you blame him for losing a player to Taylor Swift?
So apparently Ernie has dropped out because he's going to take his daughters to a Taylor Swift concert.
Right.
I'm down with that.
No, I mean, yeah, okay.
I mean, sure, you're going to get on an airplane or go wherever she's playing. I don't know where she's at this weekend. She was in Florida last weekend.
They said Houston.
Oh, is it Houston up?
Well, I think that's what Jimenez said earlier. So I don't know where she's at, but good for Ernie and good for his daughters. I'm happy for them.
Absolutely. Got to go see Taylor Swift if you get a chance to.
Well, that just means that my team gets an extra shot on every hole. No, absolutely.
No.
Because you guys have 4. We only have 3.
Edwin's up next, buddy.
Edwin's not going to play.
Edwin is up next.
Edwin's not playing. Maybe we'll get grumpy-ass Greg Shelton out there.
I'll give you $100 if you get Greg Shelton out there on a Saturday to play golf.
Well, does he know what golf is?
He's been to golf courses.
I know he's been to golf courses.
Then
but
that might be the extent of his
golf
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. Anyway, it'd be entertaining.
It would be entertaining.
And we may need a little entertainment for this whole thing. What will they let us play 7 at the golf club of Texas?
I'm sure we can. I don't know. We're going to have to figure out a way to get a 4th for your team.
Yeah, although, we are.
I mean, because your team had Ernie, he's out.
Yeah, he's out.
Your team also has Rob Thompson,
and the chances of Rob showing up are like, what are the odds on that?
51.
51.
I'll go 51 at this point.
Okay.
Although it is a 12:30 tee time. So I think we'll be okay. Rob will be all right.
So we'll let you guys tee off first, and then by the time it's 12:45 or so, then we'll give him an extra 15.
Sure. I mean, he was late last time we played.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
What do you have to figure? I don't know of anybody else around this radio station that plays golf.
Don Cooper, he's a player.
Don Cooper, okay.
Although he might be too good to replace Ernie.
No, I think that would be good if Don could play. I've never seen Don play.
No,
but I've never seen any of you guys play.
My vote would be Sean Rima. I think we need to get Sean Rima from KTSA out there to play golf.
Yeah, why not? No, we lost probably one of the better golfers in the sales department, in Arnie.
Yeah,
he moved off to Wisconsin or somewhere.
Pick up Ben Bailey or Alex.
Yeah, maybe.
Alex, by the way, in our sales department, came in our office earlier and told us 2 stories, one of which I can say on the air. The other one, I'll let Tim Spence decide if he wants to tell us that story on the air. Although Alex didn't tell us about that. Mary did.
That was Mary, yes.
Alex was out talking about warm tequila. Apparently, Alex likes to get tequila and put it in the microwave to warm it up.
He drinks. He described it as like a warm sake.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever had sake and you drink it warm, I don't like either one of them warm. Although, well, I have to say I've never tried tequila warm. I didn't even know that was a thing. Warm tequila,
room temperature, sure, but generally, even shot glasses I prefer if they're chilled. I mean, like at the house, I've got them in the freezer for that reason. I can't imagine taking tequila and putting it in the microwave for 15-20 seconds and then sipping on that. To me, just doesn't sound good. And then he tried going, well, you guys are old. That's what all the young kids do.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm thinking, well, that sounds awful. Does anybody out there nuke their tequila before they enjoy it?
Yeah, I would like to know. I mean, is that a thing? I honestly didn't know that was a thing.
No, I'd never heard that.
Warm tequila. And I don't think if I had warm tequila and I heated it up, like I couldn't sip it. If I'm going to shoot that, maybe that's different.
That sounds even worse.
Well, I would shoot it.
Yeah, but that sounds worse. I mean, they both sound bad, but I can't imagine sitting at the Root Pub, ordering a round of tequila shots and saying, and by the way, can you put those in the microwave first?
For about 10, 15 seconds, please. I can't either. But if I'm going to sip tequila, I need a good quality tequila, first of all.
Sure.
And then over ice.
Yeah.
And then you just sip it. Or a chilled glass is good.
Or like you said, even shots I want in a chilled glass. But
I'm
high maintenance when it comes to my shots.
I'd try the warm tequila as a shot. I'm not sipping it. If I want coffee, man, I'll get some coffee.
So you're going to go home and heat up some tequila just to see if Alex is onto something?
I might.
Why do I think you're full of it?
I am, because I'm not going home to drink tequila tonight. It's been one of those weekends that I probably need to dry out for a couple of days. It was fun. I mean, I wasn't, slobber knockered, but I mean, I was.
Yeah, you were.
No, I really wasn't.
I mean, I wasn't with you, but I know you.
But I was happy. All 3 nights.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Yeah, so it was good. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Started out with a nice cigar on Friday night.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was great. So, yeah. It was a good weekend. I enjoyed it. Very nice.
All good stuff. Your Friday night was far better than mine.
You didn't have a good one?
I mean, I went and saw a band.
Oh,
I saw 2 bands. I always enjoy live music.
Uh-huh.
But these guys build themselves as one was a Foo Fighter tribute band and one was a Nirvana tribute band. And I'm not the biggest tribute band type anywhere, but the wife wanted to go. So we went. And let's just say these guys were awful.
They were bad, huh?
Oh, my. I mean, the Nirvana guy, he was pretty good, but they would have been better off just doing covers of everything, because I'm guessing, tomorrow night they're going to build themselves as a Pearl Jam band or a whatever. I mean, because they didn't have the right, it's not like, at least they didn't like dress the part and look like trying to imitate, but they were bad. The guy that was trying to be Dave Grohl doing all the Foo Fighter stuff was a cross between I don't know what and Sam Kinison. He did not sound at all like the Foo Fighters.
But see, you're going to be more critical because you're a big fan of the Foo Fighters anyway.
It just don't mess up the music. If you're going to go tribute band, don't mess up the music.
Now,
right?
I don't want to know where this was, but this is a serious question. When you are hiring a band to play for your establishment, don't they try out first?
I would think, or there's demos or
something, right?
I mean, it was hell. We were over at Fitzgerald's, which generally has a lot of great shows.
Okay.
The guys that were doing sound check, because we got there way too early, thanks to my wife. They're in some sort of cover band. They sounded better than the bands that were on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, sorry about that.
That's all right, man. I was out enjoying live music.
I had Spotify going. Out in the backyard.
Good stuff.
So it was good.
Lots to get into on this Monday. Of course, we're all over the NBA playoffs, but the big news of the day, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, they certainly showed how to get a deal done in a hurry. We'll explain and the ramifications of Jalen's new deal as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need your company logo on some fishing shirts or some nice golf shirts, go see Sam. If you need T-shirts screen printed, Sam's got you covered. Uniforms, Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from all kinds of industries. If you need caps, Sam has over 12,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in the showroom right now, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. Sam has all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Nobody has better prices. All items do come with the warranty. And he is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing at 210-824-3900. 824-3900. Or better yet, go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro. 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. Or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, Jalen Hurts got paid. How does this affect Lamar Jackson?
And 2 cups of coffee because we're going to be up late watching basketball. Hoops and football. That's a R&R in the morning. Party starts at 6.
R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The once-a-year jewelry event everyone waits for is here. Starting Friday, Diamonds Direct takes value to a whole new level with an extra 20% savings on just about everything. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, and more. You get Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable price, plus an extra 20% off. Thousands of engagement ring mountings included. Plus, acclaimed jewelry designers will be in-store with an expanded selection. All the latest styles and trends, all on sale. It doesn't get any better than this. Diamonds Direct, store-wide spring event, starting Friday. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
It's Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot, and we have laundry appliances that just fit. Fit your space, fit your needs, and fit your budget. Like a new Samsung laundry set with large capacity, so you spend less time doing laundry. And with sensor dry technology to automatically optimize time and temperature, you'll spend less energy on it too. Save up to $600 on this Samsung laundry set in-store and online during Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
If car designers can make cars look like anything, why are there so many boring cars? Why not a car that looks like an ancient sword? Or the future? The sky isn't even the limit at Nissan. Why be boring when you can make a katana blade slice through traffic? That's the Nissan Z. Or something from the future whizzing by. And that's the Aria. Nissan. Redesign for thrill. 2023 Aria has limited availability. See dealer for financing details.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Some people don't do well under pressure. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we do it best. Whether you're spraying down the shop or getting the winter grime off your house, a Northern Tool pressure washer says you're serious about spring cleaning. From an all-electric power horse to a Honda-powered North Star, we'll help you build your perfect cold or hot water package with all the chemicals, attachments, and everything you need for the job ahead. Northern Tool and Equipment. We're made for this. Come see us in store or shop online at northerntool.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, the playoffs continue. We'll look back at the games. Also, Seth Walders join us. He's an NFL analyst with ESPN, analytics galore. Going to tell us where the Cowboys and who the Cowboys are going to draft. Great show. That's tomorrow. Now back to the Blitz. 2 guys at work all week long. Hope you had a great weekend. Hey, Joe, when are we coming over to swim?
I don't know, Rob. I could ask you the same.
Yeah, the man with the pool asking the other man with the pool. That's rich. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You can always be a part of the show. You can call or text the Kia Bosses Smoke Meats phone lines at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. On Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. Big news of the day, kind of really out of left field. Jalen Hurts has a brand new deal, a very rich deal with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Highest paid player in NFL history, if it goes to fruition. But, I mean, you got to look at that as the guaranteed, right? So $179 million. Oh, and there's that $300,000 they throw in just for giggles.
Well, and look, that's important. I mean, you look at the deal, the second highest in guaranteed money, because it's not as much as Deshaun's, but the total value in $51 million per year. And he's going to be the highest paid quarterback for about 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Whenever Joe Burrow gets his deal done, or Justin Herbert, or what about Lamar?
Yeah.
What about Lamar? And quite frankly, what about Dak Prescott? I mean, if you're Jerry Jones, if you plan on extending Dak, and I know a lot of us have suggested, is this going to be a prove-it year for Dak Prescott? And if he has a good year and gets a new deal, it's going to be so much more than this one. And if Joe Burrow gets a deal done, if Justin Herbert gets a deal done, if Lamar gets a deal done, that future deal for Dak is only going to get more expensive. But that's just something to throw on the table and put in the back of your mind, because it's out there. Dak's agent saw this and went, yeah, buddy. And Lamar, who still doesn't have an agent and still doesn't have a deal, but we hear more and more about monies that Lamar Jackson has just flat turned down. And it's nuts when you think about it that way, because while we should be talking about Jalen and the Eagles, immediately everybody goes to Lamar.
Well, they do. And, I've just after this Jalen Hurts deal came out, a lot of people were saying, look, we've got it all wrong about what Baltimore has actually been offering Jalen Hurts. In fact, Ian Rappaport was on with Pat McAfee today, and he had this bombshell.
So there's a person, what's her name? Sarah Ellison on the Twitters.
Shout out, Sarah.
Who actually kind of broke it down based on it's SG Ellison is if you want to look. I believe her breakdown comparing the two deals is accurate. If you want to throw it up here at some point.
Yeah, I see this on it right now.
I do believe the Ravens will probably adjust and use this to help get Lamar done. But the deal they offered him was pretty strong. I mean, look at those numbers, right? So total value
$200 million. Lamar Jackson's total guarantee was $200 million. We know that.
I believe that includes a kicker that would have kicked it in year 2, but obviously you're not going to cut him after 1 year. So I believe that is essentially the total guarantee.
Really? I don't think we've ever heard.
No, that was the discussion we had between the virtual and the actual guarantee, and that's what we were saying.
Yeah, but it was like 100.
Yeah. It was like a $65 million difference between what was actually guaranteed and then what the number they were saying.
I don't know. It was $200 million was the guarantee. Now it feels like we've got a lot wrong. The Ravens have offered Lamar Jackson $200 million guaranteed.
Yeah,
$200 million guaranteed. Now, it's a weird deal, right? And we were breaking it all down today, Jason. $133 million guaranteed at signing.
Yep.
Okay.
At signing.
At signing. Now, that's what he gets right away. If he were to get injured, we understand this is the offer that Baltimore gave to Lamar Jackson before the season started last year.
According to various reports, and there are variations on this as well.
Absolutely. So if he gets injured, they will guarantee him $175 million. If he is on the roster on the 5th day of the league year in 2026, it does go up to $200 million guaranteed. So it looks to me like, number one, he's got $133 million in the bank. If something catastrophic happens, God forbid, and he gets hurt, he gets $175 million. But if he just hangs around 3 years, it's $200 million. Which is kind of tricky, actually.
And that's on a 3-year deal. Now, you go back to what Adam Schefter and in September, Chris Mortensen, what they reported in September is ESPN has retweeted that it was a $250 million deal with 175 guaranteed and maybe that other 25. But that was on a shorter deal than what Jalen has on this 5-year deal. Now, granted, we all know Jalen will rework this deal multiple times before the end of that 5 years. And also, the way I understand the way this is done is it kind of kicks in after the rookie deal is over, which helps with salary cap issues for the Philadelphia Eagles. But they got it done. And what it tells me is you had a team motivated to reward their quarterback for getting them to a Super Bowl, and a player that was motivated to get a deal done and not squabble over a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Let's just get it done. Oh, and by the way, get it done before all the negotiations in the press. You had two very motivated sides to get a deal done, and it got done, and it's a huge deal for the Eagles. I think both sides feel like a win-win. If you're Jalen Hurts, you look at that deal and you go, hell yeah. And the Eagles, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's the highest paid, but when you look at what Lamar is going through, Joe Burrow is going to get paid, Jalen Hurts could have waited and saw what all those other guys did and then tried to get even more money. But he wanted to get his deal done, and he did.
Okay, and here, after seeing all of this today, can we stop with the whole collusion thing? I mean, seriously, I want to stop with it because it looks like the Baltimore Ravens made Lamar Jackson, and this was before the season began, made him an offer that, I mean, this $133 million guaranteed, you're right, is for 3 years. He could have taken the $133 million, played for 3 years. If he got hurt, he's going to get an extra 42. But he could have taken that 3 year. He'd been a free agent again in 3 years. This sounds like a hell of a deal to me.
It does. And you wonder why he turned it down, other than everybody else is getting 5-year deals, even though that over 3 years, Lamar's would win. And I'm just speculating here, the ego of being able to say, I have the highest, seems like a priority for Lamar. And this is where I don't think we can stop the collusion conversation, because by all accounts, Lamar wants a fully guaranteed deal that's north of what Deshaun Watson has.
He's not going to get it.
And he's not going to get it, and partly because owners don't want fully guaranteed deals. And so I think the collusion part is still on the table as far as fully guaranteed deals and nobody wanting to mess with it. But when you look at average year and guaranteed money, like this deal for Jalen Hurts, it's the second highest guarantee next to Deshaun Watson's. The overall contract, though, is the most expensive in NFL history.
And of course, you've got to look at the guaranteed money, right? Because that's typically where these things end. But what the Ravens can do now, because this offer was a year ago, basically, or coming up on a year, they can look at that Jalen Hurts deal and say, okay, Lamar, here we go. You want 5 years? We'll give you 5 years. Hurts is going to be guaranteed let's just for giggles, we'll say $180 million. We'll give you 190 and pay you 260. I mean, how do you pass that up? And how do you feel disrespected if you get that?
Because Deshaun,
I don't care what Deshaun.
I mean, it feels like if Lamar was going with the common sense approach that you just laid out, we would have a deal done and the Lamar conversation would have ended a long time ago. But if his bar is the same guarantees that Deshaun has or nothing, then the conversation ends. Because every time I hear one of these reports about what Lamar has turned down, I just shake my head and say, how does anybody get offered that kind of money and say, no, not good enough? Somebody offers you that kind of money, you're asking for a pen. Where do I sign?
No kidding. And I don't get, look, Deshaun Watson money is off the table, I think. Maybe one of these other guys gets it eventually. I don't know. And obviously sometime in the near future, that's going to happen. But I just think at this point in time, that's generational money.
Oh, yeah. That
Lamar Jackson, and he wouldn't even have to pay the 3% or whatever the hell it is, right? So he's going to actually get more of that. So I'm just saying, I don't understand if these numbers are accurate, and Ian Rappaport believes that they are, and I trust Ian Rappaport. He's plugged in.
Sure.
Then how in the world for 3 years do you pass up $133 million guaranteed? You can become a free agent again if you want to, but I have to believe that the Ravens are going to look at this Jalen Hurts deal and they're going to go back to Lamar and say, okay, look, here is another offer.
It's a current comp.
Exactly.
And that's what it is. And the 3-year deal that we're hearing about, and we heard about it some in September, feels a lot more NBA contract-like than NFL contract, because he would be able to be a free agent again and renegotiate his deal in probably 2 years, or force his way out in a trade if he wanted to go. It feels very much more like an NBA-style contract than it does an NFL-style contract. Speaking of the NBA, injuries and upsets highlight the first weekend of the playoffs. We'll dive into that as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. And you know, Fiesta is just around the corner. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, because you do. Best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, you want out of jail fast, best place for stress-free bail bonds is to call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans. They're open 24/7, offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs want another bite at the Austin apple. They're going to meet with Bexar County commissioners tomorrow to see if they can get approval to play a couple more games in Austin and one outside the United States for the next 2 years. Jalen Hurts is the highest paid player in NFL history. $255 million extension, $179 fully guaranteed. And tonight, the Texas Rangers open up a series in Kansas City. You can catch that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you want to know what's trending now? You can defer payments of a full NetSuite implementation for 6 months. No payments and no interest for 6 months. This is a big deal. NetSuite by Oracle has never made an offer like this in its 22 years as the leading cloud financial system. 33,000 companies have already upgraded to NetSuite, gaining visibility and control over their financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. Everything they need to reduce manual processes, boost efficiency, build forecasts, and increase productivity across every department. In fact, almost 90% of finance leaders agree that NetSuite helps them reduce manual data entry time. Whether your business generates millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, take advantage of this special financing offer of no payments or interest for 6 months at netsuite.com/gain. That's netsuite.com/gain. netsuite.com/gain.
Hi, hon. Want to tag along to the grocery store with me?
Sure, but I just filled up the car with gas, and with those prices, we got to be careful with groceries.
It's crazy. All the basic staples have gotten so expensive. But good news. Tina told me about this great app called Upside that pays you back big time just for using it. She said with the Upside app, she earned serious cash back on groceries and gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that we can actually get paid back real cash when we use the Upside app to buy gas and groceries?
Yep. Tina said they made around $200 already.
Whoa, finally, something that pays us back money instead of costing us more. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas and groceries. Cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GAS16 to save an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Remember, use code GAS16 to save an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially since you're always growing and changing. Therapy is all about deepening that self-awareness, because sometimes you don't know what you really want until you talk things through. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. Visit betterhelp.com/score to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/score.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you grilled or smoked, and you could win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market.
So good and tasty?
Grilling with the Blitz. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Oh, one of the great things about being in Military City, USA, military things that are going on. Over the weekend, everybody was talking about the cloud. Everybody saw the cloud.
That was wild.
It was. All right. I mean, Pledge is looking at me dumbfounded. Just Google cloud in San Antonio, dude. I mean, everybody has seen it, and half of you took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook. And I've even seen some people on Facebook mark safe from seeing the cloud, right? I mean, it was a wild cloud. One of the best photos I saw was from Wolf Stadium over at the Missions game. I mean, it looked like one of those clouds out of, some weird movie.
It really did. We were driving back from Kerrville.
Yeah.
And looked at it and going, uh-oh, what's happening in San Antonio?
Yeah, bad storms.
I know, right?
Yeah, but accordingly, it was just cool clouds. Now, if you look up tonight, you could look up and possibly see them right now. The U.S. Army's parachute team, the Golden Knights.
Very cool.
Are practicing in San Antonio today, tomorrow, and Wednesday.
And we saw them at the Army-Navy game.
Yes, we did.
They were fantastic.
They are. I mean, it's watching what those guys can do jumping out of a plane and the control, but they've got to practice. They're out at Stinson and running their practice routes. And I just saw on Facebook, they're gearing up and the plane's about to leave. So you might see them jumping. And if you do, that's what it is.
That's pretty cool.
That's the Golden Knights, and they are practicing the next 3 days here in San Antonio out of Stinson.
I would love to see that. Unfortunately, we have no windows in here.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll rely on you guys. If you see this happening, snap a picture to us.
And again, if you're wondering what parachute team is that, it is the Golden Knights.
I tell you what,
it is them.
Yeah, and watch in awe because they are fantastic.
They really are. They really are. The NBA playoffs were great this weekend for the most part. A lot of good games, a lot of surprises.
I didn't like it.
A lot of upsets. Of course you didn't.
Those 2 LA teams won.
5 underdogs win. Well, and you look at the let's start with the 2 LA teams. That dude being that dude is one thing. And he was that dude in the fourth quarter last night. Russ Westbrook was awful for 3.5 quarters. Got in arguments with fans, all kinds of stuff. But then Westbrook turns it on and has one of the best games for a guy that was 3 of a gazillion shooting. Played defense. I mean, when he wants to, he is good. And they get a game 1 win. And at what point, and I know I'm overreacting to one game, but Monty, you have had some great teams that come up short in the postseason. Kevin Durant has now lost apparently 7 straight playoff games. I didn't realize that. Chris Paul, at what point is it on you? Or at what point do you look at the coaching situation? Phoenix is stacked. You've got game 1 in your building, and that's what happens?
I hate complimenting that guy that used to be here. He wore number 2.
Yeah.
But he shut Durant down. Okay? There's no other way to look at it.
He's fantastic when he's out there.
Shut Kevin Durant down and also did it on the offensive side. Look, I hate to compliment him, but he was fantastic.
I mean, I'm with you, but greatness is greatness.
Yeah.
And they save him for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They took him out of the bubble wrap and they programmed him and said, expert level, go.
Yeah.
And that's what you got. And it's frustrating because but I mean, you look at it, if you're Phoenix, you're again overreacting to game 1.
Of course.
The Lakers, same thing. I mean, when Anthony Davis, I can't move my arm. You're like, all right, well, typical AD. I mean, he's just when he's healthy, and when healthy, that team can be great, and they've been good down the stretch for a 7 seed. But he felt his arm at halftime and got whatever going, and then Ja Morant got hurt, and
Giannis got hurt,
and then Giannis got hurt.
I mean, Tyler Hero got hurt.
Yeah.
So
the injuries,
a lot of problems injury wise. You're exactly right. So look, first of all, it is one game. We always overreact to one game.
Well, sure.
Second of all, whoever lost this weekend, it's not a must-win game in game 2. Okay? So can we stop that?
Wait.
I heard Michael Jimenez say that today, but he's not the only one.
Well, I mean, they are must-win.
They're not.
They kind of are.
They're not.
It'd be really good to win games.
It'd be really good to win them.
But that doesn't sound as good as, a must-win.
It's not a must-win game. It's a 7-game series.
Yeah, all right.
That just drives me nuts. It's a must-win game. No, it's not.
Well, you don't want to go down 0-2.
Well, of course not.
Right? At home.
But even if you do, guess what?
What?
The other team still got to win 2 more.
Percentages say this is a must-win game to give you a good percentage chance of winning the whole the series.
Is that like the lottery?
Yes.
Same thing, huh?
Yes.
You got to finish in the bottom 3 to get 14%. I saw the 4th team has 12.5%.
Well, that's 1.5% lower since you want to be accurate, right? It's not 14%.
It's not a must win. Okay.
It'd be really nice to win.
We could put it in that. It would be a really nice game to win.
All right. So let's look at tonight's game because Sacramento, in my goodness.
How about that?
Sacramento looked incredible. Not the team. I mean, they did. They won. But the atmosphere in Sacramento, even when they were good in the early 2000s, I got vague memories of them being good.
Yeah.
I got strong memories of them getting robbed by an official, but that's beside the point. The outside of the arena itself that had never hosted a playoff game in that new building looked on another level. Like we talk about the Deer Park thing that they've had in Milwaukee, and even watching Phoenix when they were in the finals, and everybody sets up these outdoor things, and they all look cool. And as a Spurs fan, I just miss that excitement around a basketball team in late April, May, going into June.
Yeah.
Sacramento just looked like one of the coolest environments for a first-round home playoff game.
Well, what I love about that, the atmosphere was great. And I can remember going to the old Arco Arena back in the day. And it was exciting back then because the fans really got it. I mean, what else are you going to do in Sacramento? I mean, it's kind of a dump. So, when your team's good, that's a good thing. And you get excited about it. Look, I am so happy that they won that game because nobody gave them a chance to win this series. Now, they may not, but the fact that they won game 1,
now
that's huge.
It is huge. Does that make tonight's game? It's the late game tonight. Warriors-Kings game 2. Golden State has struggled on the road this year. Is this a must-win game for Golden State to make it a series?
No, because they could lose tonight, go back home, win the next 2, and then it's a 3-game series. That's the thing. Look, Sacramento's problem is they can score. The defense is a little suspect. Yeah, a little bit. And if that dude by the name of Steph Curry gets hot, then they're in trouble.
Yep.
So, no, it's not a must-win game. It would be nice to get it. I'm sure they'd love to have it.
Okay.
But it's not a must-win.
All right, so there's no must-win games tonight, but a couple of would be nice.
Would be nice
get a win.
to win, yes.
I disagree. No, I mean, look, if Golden State's going to make this a series, going down 0-2, the way they've played this year, I think they need to win tonight to make this a series.
Dude,
otherwise, you're just delaying the inevitable.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, buddy.
How long have you been covering sports?
Long enough to know that this is a must. It'd be really nice to win this one for Golden State.
I'm going to tell you this. I hope Sacramento wins tonight.
Here we go.
And I guarantee you it goes back game 5, tied at 2.
Guarantee. Sounds like a beer bet to me.
It does. This is not a must-win game. Golden State obviously doesn't want to lose it.
Oh, so that makes it a must-win.
It's not a must-win.
They better have a must-win mentality.
Dude, they
Can we agree on that?
They will go back.
We can't agree it's got to be a must-win mentality?
All of those guys are veteran players.
Uh-huh.
Are they not? They've been through the wars, been through the battles.
All right.
Not a must-win.
All right. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Didn't sign his name to it, but 3516 texts in. Can you repeat the details on the Golden Knights, please? The Golden Knights are, let me pull it back up.
They're practicing here in San Antonio.
Today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. They're out at Stinson Airport.
And we don't have a schedule as to when their practice sessions are, so that's going to be up to you.
And yeah, I'm sure that they might have that on their page, or Stinson might have it. But generally, I would assume that they practice late afternoon. Quick story time. When I was in the Navy, I did a school down in Florida for 3 weeks, and the search and rescue swim school. And every day at 3 o'clock, everybody stops down to watch the Blue Angels practice.
Sure they do.
And it's just incredible. But they would practice every day at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock, you knew those Jets were going to fire up, and they were going to do what they do.
Yeah.
And you just sat there and watched.
Nice.
I mean, we were in school. We were in the Navy. We're in school. And, like even the instructors are like, all right, break time. Let's all go outside. And we would watch the Blue Angels practice.
Nice.
That's kind of
very cool.
It is what they do. And seeing that based on Facebook right now, they're getting everything geared up and going to practice. I'm going to guess late afternoon.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what atmospheric things they want.
I'm sure the weatherman has something to do with that, or the weather, or
somebody does. One of their own, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They got one of those guys, that's for sure. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. A lot of basketball to talk about, a lot of football as well, spring football. Spring game was Saturday for the Aggies, and Jimbo says they've got a lot of work to do. We'll dive into that as we continue here on the Blitz. But first, let me tell you about Northwest Automotive Warehouse, NAW, over there on Calabria Road. It is your one stop for accessories, upgrades, and extras for your car, truck, Jeep, or SUV. NAW has a fully stocked selection of toolboxes for all makes and models, diesel tanks, bumpers, grill guards, light bars, and so much more. And you're going to love their low prices on brands like Undercover truck bed covers, WeatherTech floor liners, and Steelcraft bumpers. They also have great deals on scratch and dent options. NAW, that big red building on Calabria Road, family-owned business that has been going strong since 1978. You walk in, you talk to Frank, talk to Ashley, talk to the staff there. Very much a low-pressure sales environment. You're going to leave with what you need. At NAW, they have products that last and aim to make your work and life easier. Northwest Automotive Warehouse, 3027 Calabria Road. 3027 Calabria Road, or you can even go check out their website, nawtruck.com. That's nawtruck.com.
It's the NFL Draft on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner.
The Dallas Cowboys select.
This is going to be a fun player to watch.
Next Friday, join 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star for this year's NFL Draft, live from Kansas City. Who do the Cowboys and Texans pick? Does Jerry make a splash? Who goes number one? And who's the next Mr. Irrelevant? Find out right here on your exclusive home for the Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sadly, 1 in 3 women in the U.S. will experience physical abuse from an intimate partner. Violence and sexual exploitation of children is also a significant problem. By providing housing, healing, and prevention, Christie's Hope creates an environment where people feel freedom from abuse. Thomas J. Henry is proud to team up with Christie's Hope to help bring an end to domestic violence for good. Help us create a legacy of resilience and hope. Donate today at christieshope.org.
Some people don't do well under pressure. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we do it best. Whether you're spraying down the shop or getting the winter grime off your house, a Northern Tool pressure washer says you're serious about spring cleaning. From an all-electric power horse to a Honda-powered North Star, we'll help you build your perfect cold or hot water package with all the chemicals, attachments, and everything you need for the job ahead. Northern Tool and Equipment. We're made for this. Come see us in store or shop online at northerntool.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep, switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors you crave. Spicy dill, Korean kimchi, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to a whole new level with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Get yours at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is Tim Spence, and you're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Mennix. You can also watch us on YouTube Live, listening on ESPNSA.com.
Yes.
Spring football happened on Saturday, and seems like Jimbo Fisher was just as salty at his press conference following the spring game as his first one of the spring, in which the Houston Chronicles' Brent Zwerneman just kind of roasted him because he was, well, salty. Especially for a head coach that hadn't talked to the media really since the end of the season. He has been quiet for a head football coach. Appearances seem limited. Comments in the media seem limited. He doesn't want to talk about his offensive coordinator. And quite frankly, the spring game, Rob Thompson from R&R in the Morning, he was there and he was texting the group, this is a glorified scrimmage. It wasn't much.
Well, isn't that what they are?
Some
Basically,
are.
I mean, that's what they are.
They are, but I mean, generally the spring game gets you excited about your team.
I got you, but I mean, it's hard to like really say, oh man, that spring game, it was awesome.
Well,
you were excited.
Well, I mean, and we'll get into the Longhorns coming up, but I mean, you just hope that you see better or something different than what you saw at the end of your year, and even with the media. Jimbo had a comment. If it's the last question, it better be a good question. I don't need no Houston Chronicle questions. I need a Texags question. The Sports Illustrated is just as bad. SI, they ain't good. They ain't a good one either now. They ain't a good one. Used to be the gold standard. That gummy said, you give me flack and I can't give you flack. Y'all can't take it. That got personal. I don't know what Brent Zorneman did. BZ does.
He told the truth. That's what he did,
and he does a good job. And he reports the facts. And look, whether Jimbo Fisher wants to acknowledge it, he's been around the game long enough. Sure, we care about our offensive line. We might care about our running backs. We might care about our receivers. Hell, even tight ends get a lot of conversation. Defensive guys, but it's all about the quarterback. Right?
Of course it is.
Who is the quarterback? And they've got two. They got Max and Connor. You know, they got a couple of freshmen on the roster that, according to Rob, didn't get a lot of playing time. But has one quarterback separated themselves in at least the spring part of the conversation?
Wegman did, I think, right? I mean, he seemed to play better than Max.
Well, not according to the coach.
No, dude, it's going to be competition all the time, every week, all the way till the end of next year. You ain't every position's going to be that way. If you don't practice in the game, you know, I tell you see the story in Oklahoma softball, women's softball. Those guys have battles for the positions during the week. They won 3 national champions. They swap out guys. Guys get beat out weekly. I mean, you want competition every day and guys you feel comfortable with. So say you name a starting quarterback today. What does that mean? Nothing. If you don't go in fall camp and do anything and that doesn't play well, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And that's at every position. Competition is the name of the game. Competition is great. If you don't like competition, you shouldn't play sports. So you got to compete for your job every day. And I think we have 2 very capable guys. And I'm excited about both guys. And both guys got some work to do, but man, both guys can be really good players.
No, he's right about that. I mean, seriously. Now, I know Texas is coming up, but Sark named his starting quarterback after the spring game.
Well, I mean, it depends on the philosophy that you go with, right? So there is the old coaching philosophy. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right? Or I can't name a starter yet because the competition is so close.
Right.
What he just said is, you know, week 3, we might have a different starting quarterback than we do in week 5 or week 6 because of performance-based, which means you have no separation. Now, I liked what I've seen out of Connor, and the kid's got some wheels, knowing what he did in high school. I think that's your future, right? You know, and Max Johnson transferring in from LSU, you know, played well at times, but that offense last year was just awful.
It was terrible.
And I think Aggies were expecting to see a lot more with the Bobby Petrino touch to everything going on in College Station. And I don't know that.
Well, it takes a minute. I mean, you can't, you know, Aggie fans or any team for that, man, you can't expect somebody to come in and work miracles in 3 months?
Well, I mean, but you can.
Well,
I mean,
you can expect
you realize if you're a fan of said team, you have no patience. Easy for you to say that.
Right.
A little bit different than, say, for an Aggie to say that. And it's odd because, you know, Jimbo can talk all about not having to name a quarterback at this point, but it was no problem for Sark to name his starter. And quite frankly, watching the spring game, that's clear. We'll dive into that coming up after SportsCenter.
This is The Blitz. KTFM Floresville and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs want to go back to Austin. In fact, they're going to ask the Bear County Commissioners to get approval to play a couple of more ball games in our state's capital and another one outside of the United States in each of the next 2 seasons. Jalen Hurts is a rich man. $255 million extension today. $179 of that is guaranteed. Rangers open up a series in Kansas City, a game you can hear right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. You can always be a part of this show on the Kia Bossa Smoke Meats phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can call or text, or you can tweet us at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. You can tweet the station at SA Sports Star. And if you're watching on YouTube Live, you can comment there. And it's just YouTube Live moving forward.
Yeah, and if you've got something to say and you don't say it, that's your fault. Plenty of opportunities to say something.
Something, absolutely. I did not plan on watching the Longhorn spring game on Saturday afternoon. I honestly was thinking about all kinds of things. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And saw a couple tweets that it was started, realized it's live on the Longhorn Network, put it on, and I didn't flip off of it. I watched the whole thing. I mean, that wasn't part of my plan. I was going to, all right, I'll check it out.
It was captivating. Huh?
And then I'm going to go watch some of this. I'm going to go watch some of that. There's basketball on. There's the XFL. There was all kinds of different things that I thought I would flip around to. But I was so intrigued with what I was seeing out of the Texas Longhorns. I know I'm also a homer. So it was nice to see former Copperas Cove Bulldog star, Baylor Heisman Trophy winner, Robert Griffin III, on the call, because I know he's not a UT homer.
Right.
He's not. So it's not like I had, the Longhorn propaganda machine and nothing but Longhorns on the broadcast telling me how great they were. This was a guy that went to Waco, a guy that went to Baylor. He even tweeted after the game, just called the Texas spring game, and Sark has this team ready to win a Big 12 championship and contend for a national championship.
Why would he say that?
Because the Longhorns look that good.
Oh, my God.
No,
it's
seriously.
a spring game. They're playing against each other.
That's fine. You're right. It's the spring game.
You cannot make a national championship run after a spring game, for goodness sake. I love the guy, a lot of respect, but that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Texas is back, folks.
Yeah, and it's what month are we? It's April 17th.
Exactly.
Right? Can we hear that one more time? That's beautiful.
Texas is back, folks.
Oh my gosh.
What was Joe Testor said that 12 years ago now?
They still haven't come back yet. That's funny. We were talking, you said, yours look good, and
Malik Murphy
looked good. You said you thought he looked best of everybody.
Malik Murphy was the most impressive quarterback. Quinn Ewers did, quite frankly, what I thought Quinn Ewers can do, and I'm high on Quinn Ewers. I'm impressed that a guy like Malik Murphy didn't hit the portal when Art showed up on campus, and to me that says a lot about Malik Murphy. Now, Ewers was 16 of 23, 195 yards and a touchdown. Malik Murphy 9 of 13 for 165 yards and a score. So when you hear those stats, I mean, the accuracy is there. He had one pass, maybe a little bit high, but hit the receiver in the hands, although he was well covered, but that was a drop. Should have been another touchdown for him. He had one other drop on his record, so his 9 of 13 could have been better, but the arm strength is what impressed me most about Malik Murphy. And again, spring game, quarterback isn't getting hit. There were some times where I thought he could scramble and keep plays alive, and the coaches blew them down. But when you think about just watching a player and going, so much better than I thought it was going to be, it was Malik Murphy. Like going into the spring game, going into spring, I'm thinking this is Quinn Ewers' job, and if he struggles a little bit, Arch Manning is going to trot out there and be the guy that we all expect Arch to be. Arch is not ready. Arch looked awful. Arch looked, quite frankly, like a high school kid playing with a bunch of college kids. Because he is. He should still be in high school. But the idea of Arch playing it all next year, based on the spring game, ain't no way in hell. Arch, and again,
which of course projects a national championship contender
with Quinn Ewers and Malik Murphy. Absolutely.
Please.
I mean, look.
Stop it.
Look,
Stop it.
No, seriously. Watching the spring game, and I tweeted this too, that quarterback battle in the fall is going to be impressive.
That's great.
Not anything to do with Arch. I would say Malik has a chance to take over the starting job from Quinn Ewers. Sark, though, had no problem after the spring game saying Quinn is our guy.
I think it's pretty clear to say, Quinn's our starting quarterback, and we feel very good about that. But I don't ever want to take the stinger of these other guys that they're not competing for something, that they're not striving for something, because they're all talented players. They're great teammates with one another. And I think they all appreciate how hard each of them work. And I think we're in a very fortunate position to have three quality guys in that room that work the way that they do.
Look, Sark is in a different position, I think, than every other coach in college football.
Mm-hmm.
So much hype around Arch Manning that I think it was for his benefit. I'm talking about Arch Manning's benefit that Sark name somebody else other than Arch Manning starting quarterback. Take that pressure off.
Agree.
So the fans and everybody else know going in, Arch Manning is not the second coming of Peyton, at least not right now. And that, look, this kid's got to get his feet wet. He's got to get in there. So it was to Arch Manning's benefit that Sark named Ewers the starting quarterback.
And Malik is going to be the number 2. One of the things that I saw from Arch Manning, it wasn't the pressure. I mean, that kid, and RG3 talked about this a lot during the broadcast. He's always been a Manning. He knows the pressure that his last name brings. But he looked like a player out there that was trying to do everything perfect instead of play the game. Obviously, the level of play that he saw while in high school, the speed and everything that comes with it, even in practices that he's had at UT, you get in the spring game and it's, I don't want to say full speed because not everybody's getting hit, but at a fuller speed, you could just tell he was trying to do everything perfect on every play. Kid's got so much pressure that he's putting on himself to do it right that he didn't look very good. That will work itself out over time. There were some moments where you go, oh yeah, but it doesn't look like it's going to be September, October of this year. But I'll tell you what, Malik Murphy, that kid is impressive. And I don't know if I'm more impressed with what I saw with him on the field on Saturday afternoon or the fact that he has stayed at UT, knowing that Quinn is there and he's the guy, and that you've got Arch coming up. It would be very Malik. The portal is built for a guy like Malik. Mm-hmm. Go somewhere where you can play, but he has opted, at least to this point, to stay on the 40 acres.
Well, he's a sophomore this year, I'm assuming, or did he redshirt last year? I can't recall. Doesn't really make any difference because I remember people talking about him very highly, when he was recruited and when he came to Texas. But I think that bodes well for Texas fan that Arch Manning sit red shirt, and I know people are going to want to see him. They're going to probably pressure, if Quinn Ewers has a bad game, everybody's going to be howling for Arch Manning. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it would benefit every Texas fan to be patient, let this kid grow, get his feet wet, let him practice, let him see that speed, get used to it, and then put his talents to work. Look, Quinn Ewers has got to know too. I mean, just because it may be his job this year, that doesn't mean it's his job next year. Well, because they brought this kid in for a reason.
And he could be off to the NFL draft. I mean, at that point. But keeping in mind, and what's bizarre, and I think about Quinn Ewers, and that kid looked good. You go back his time in high school, very few times did he have to play in all 4 quarters of a football game. And then he had that year at Ohio State, right? And then last year, dealing with that injury in the Alabama game. Took him a while to he wasn't the same after that. So if he can stay healthy, but that's a kid, as good as he is, that just quite frankly hasn't played as much football for somebody his age at this point of his college career. He just doesn't have the game reps. Malik Murphy has dealt with some injury issues. But the other thing that they kept talking about on the Longhorn Network, and this is part of the propaganda machine, and so when I'm watching LHN, I always try to keep that in mind. But hearing RG3 say it, knowing he's going to filter some things through there, the idea that Sark has talked about going into year 3 finally feels like his team. His recruits are basically all there now. They're running all his systems. There's, the past guys, the transition period, it feels very different. We heard Sark when Sark was on with us. When was that? Last year, year before?
That was last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
He still talked about trying to change the culture inside that facility. And remember, he was talking about, because of the construction and just some of the stuff that he had to deal with in year 1 that he was trying to fix in year 2. And Sark doing interviews during the broadcast and hearing RG3 talk about his time on campus with players and with Sark and some of the other coaches. The culture is finally at the point where Sark is comfortable that he feels like finally going into year 3, this truly is his team and what he's been building it to be going forward.
Which it means that he all of a sudden now is on the hot seat. Because if Texas finishes 7-5, Sark is gone. I mean, you got to figure, right? Look, the patience is not much. And with all the recruits that they get, with all the athletes that they get, there is no reason for this team not to contend for a Big 12 championship each and every year. And since this is the last one, it'd kind of be a nice one to get if you're Texas, and you got to look at Oklahoma the same way since they're leaving the Big 12. But look, and Texas fan knows they don't want to jump into the SEC and be a bottom dweller.
No.
And so you've got to do something. And he's got to do it this year. I think for Sark, there's no more excuses.
You just hit on something that I hadn't really given a lot of thought to. And again, I'm watching the spring game, so I'm making comments now based on watching the spring game. The jump to the SEC we all know is coming, and this is going to be their final year in the Big 12. But the line play, the physicalness of it, did have a bit of an SEC feel to it. You could tell he's building this team for the SEC, not necessarily the Big 12. I don't, if you were watching the Longhorn Network game on Saturday, if you kind of saw the same thing or think I'm off my rocker, let me know at Jason Minix or at Joe Reinagle 210 on Twitter, or you can text or call the Kia Bosses Smoke Meat phone lines 210-656-ESPN 656-3776. Joshua on YouTube Live says Quinn is going to live up to the hype this year. Mullet season in Austin is coming.
I love that. Hey, look, before he got hurt in that Alabama game, Quinn Ewers was lighting it up.
Yeah.
I mean, he was showing what kind of skills he has. And you're right. After he got hurt, he was just never the same. And that's too bad. Hopefully he comes back and he's healthy. He's ready to go and shows what he can do.
And I'm
Kid's talented. I mean, no doubt.
And I'm guessing the dude that commented on YouTube wasn't watching the game and hadn't been paying attention, but that mullet's gone.
It's gone. Well, it could be back by then.
Based on the way I saw him play on Saturday, leave the mullet alone. Leave it gone.
Leave it off.
Leave it gone. Definitely want to leave it gone. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Eagles and Jalen Hurts show how to get a deal done. We'll dive into the Eagles quarterback's new contract as we continue here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. You can learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's R&R in the morning. Tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, Jalen Hurts got paid. How does this affect Lamar Jackson?
And 2 cups of coffee because we're going to be up late watching basketball, hoops, and football. That's a R&R in the morning. Party starts at 6.
R&R in the morning. Tomorrow at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Garage clutter got you down? Garageization will help improve that mood. Cabinets, shelving, workbenches, overhead racks, slat wall. They even do floors. Oh my! GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com for more info. GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com.
It's patio season, so get over to the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road to enjoy the great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks, happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6, and the kitchen is open late until 2 a.m. every day. Add the Roo Pub into your lunch rotation. With those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around, you know there is no better place to watch a game, and they always have all the fights. The Roo Pub, next to the Angry Elephant, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
I was in a terrible accident with a commercial vehicle. I had to have surgery on my back. My life was turned upside down and I was completely screwed. Then I called the Force, the Davis law firm. Jeff personally handled my case. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $397,988. It's really true. Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast, while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Having McDonald's breakfast is delicious. Having someone else get you McDonald's breakfast is delicious-er. Right now, get a big breakfast with hotcakes for just $4.99. Only at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
If you own a small business, you know the value of time. GetRefunds.com does too. That's why they've made it easy, no matter how busy you are, to apply for the Employee Retention Credit, or ERC. Go to GetRefunds.com to get started, and in less than 8 minutes, see if your business qualifies for ERC assistance. Your business may be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee kept on payroll during COVID-19. GetRefunds.com has already helped clients claim over $3 billion in payroll tax refunds through the ERC, and they may be able to help your business too. There's no upfront charge either. They don't get paid until your business gets its refund. Many businesses believe they won't qualify based on incomplete or outdated information, so don't let this opportunity pass you by, because this payroll tax refund is only available for a limited time. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
San Antonio Professional Boxing is on another level. Mark your calendars. May 5th, Cinco de Mayo for Davies Entertainment. Viva La Brawl at the Techport Arena. San Antonio Boxing like you've never seen it before. Buy tickets now at daviesentertainment.com. See you at the Brawl.
Gold and other precious metals stand the test of time and can help you diversify your portfolio. Jason Minix here for Noble Gold Investments. Physical assets like gold and silver have weathered countless financial storms. You have seen what has happened to some banks recently. Gold is the most stable asset outside of any government control. At Noble Gold Investments, they help protect your financial future by offering a secure and convenient way to invest in physical precious metals, rare coins, or a gold and silver IRA. Gold, silver, and other precious metals will always protect against market fluctuations. At NobleGoldInvestments.com, learn how investing in precious metals help guard against inflation, hedge against the dollar, and so much more. Go to NobleGoldInvestments.com. Use promo code STAR to get a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin with each gold or silver IRA if you qualify. NobleGoldInvestments.com. That's NobleGoldInvestments.com.
Tomorrow on R&R in the Morning, we talk Jalen Hurts payday. We also going to be joined by Seth Walder, an ESPN analytics expert, and we get to the NBA playoffs. Now back to the Blitz. Jason, Joe, hope you had a good weekend. Have a great show, fellas.
Appreciate you, Rudy.
Good boy, Rudy.
They had a great guest this morning.
Yeah, I heard that. I did.
You should go listen to it on the audio vault at espnsa.com, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. Talking about the need for a tight end. Mike Clay from ESPN. And these, I don't know, they must have got on some analytics guest web email blast and booked these guys to talk over your head with different numbers and stuff like that. But again, it kind of goes back. It was going back to, don't be surprised if they take a tight end in the first round.
Unless all these mock drafts are just so far off, it appears that they're going to do that. So, but I think his guy, or there was a mock draft earlier, some guy I'd never heard of, Laporte from Iowa or something.
Yeah, there's another tight end out there.
I mean, there's a bunch of tight ends.
It's a deep tight end draft.
So why do you do it in the first round?
Well, because if they're the best, and if you can get a 10-year tight end, if you could find the next Jason Witten, that's the goal.
What if they already have the next Jason Witten?
So then you get a situation like New England had with Aaron Hernandez and Gronk. You got two great ones.
One of them's a murderer.
I mean, on the football field only, Ryan Eagle.
Okay, all right.
My man can always find the negative in everything.
I'm just saying.
As long as it sells his argument better.
I don't want a tight end in the first round. I mean, my gosh, that just seems like, yes, it is a need. I will give you that. But it doesn't seem like a first round draft pick need.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't. Especially as deep as this draft is, apparently, with tight ends.
But you're also picking at 26, not 12. And I think that also plays a factor into it. We got a lot of time. Another whole week and a half of getting ready for the draft. I know, what was it, last week? I was thinking, all right, draft's next week. We're going to do this. I think I said that to Machota. Like, hey, next Friday when we talk to you, we'll talk about the pick. And he texted me later like, I didn't want to correct you on here. It happens.
It's okay.
It's all good.
Yeah, it seems like we've been talking because the NFL is king, and it ain't even close. And so that's why we talk about the draft. I mean, it's just the way it is.
It's important. Now, another thing that's important is, what are you doing on Friday afternoon? Well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do on Friday afternoon. You're going to join us out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the 281 Thousand Oaks location for Viva La Brawl. It's a ticket hit giveaway. We're going to have tickets to Davies Entertainment Viva La Brawl at the Techport Center on May 5th. But this Friday, we're going to be out there. We're going to give away tickets. I understand some of the fighters are going to be out there with us. Davies Entertainment is putting on Viva La Brawl, 3 o'clock, 3 to 6:30, because we got baseball, so we're out early.
I think the MC of that event will be out there as well.
Is that Rudy J?
I believe it's Rudy J.
I wouldn't know by his socials that he's going to be doing that.
Rudy he's a social guy.
He really is.
When it comes to those social media things.
Yes, he's gotten the memo.
He's got. I'm trying. I'm working on it.
Can you work a little harder?
My nice tri-tip yesterday. Did you notice that?
I did.
Even that one guy correct me.
What?
Said I should have let it rest a little longer. I didn't have time. All right, everybody was ready to eat, so it rested about 20 minutes. That's all I could do.
That's fine. You only want to let a tri-tip like a good steak. 10 or 15 minutes is good.
I'm just telling you. But I appreciate the constructive criticism.
Everybody out there is
an expert, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was fun doing that, and very easy, by the way. If you haven't done a tri-tip, I mean, it was really easy.
And it's so good.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
And I think with tri-tip,
Pledge is eating it right now.
The tri-tip is gone. He's eating my leftover brisket at this point. Because again, if we don't feed Pledge, he doesn't eat.
It kind of reminds. It's like in the zoo. We're sitting here watching Pledge eat. Gonna throw him some peanuts.
I know if I've posted anything on my grill, when I walk in, normally Pledge stays in his studio until there's a reason to come out or a commercial break. But if I'm walking in and he sees me out of the corner of his eye, Jimenez and Spence can be in the middle of whatever, and he's like, "Hey, how was your weekend? Oh, look, you brought brisket." All right,
he
buddy.
was out right away. wasn't he?
Well,
Yeah.
it's like a puppy dog greeting you at the. Well, it's the same thing with Josie, our station dog.
Yeah.
Josie comes by, checks the desk, see if there's anything to eat. If there's nothing to eat, she goes about her day. If there's food, she sits and stays.
She'll hang around a while.
Absolutely.
See, I surprised Pledge today with the tri-tip because he wasn't expecting that, I don't think.
Yeah.
So when I walked in, he was doing whatever he does in there, and I said, "Here, Pledge, have some of this. Let me know what you think." So then maybe I'll get that reaction from now on after I post a picture.
I mean, if he knows that you were doing anything on the grill. Because you notice he's always the first to comment.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
He did.
Oh, boy.
He did, actually.
Look at that.
I think his comment was, "Whoa, that's going to be good."
Guy's in his apartment eating ramen noodles or macaroni and cheese.
Exactly. Oh, man.
Jalen Hurts won't have to eat ramen noodles ever again.
Never, unless he wants to.
I
mean, unless he wants to.
You know that song by the Bare Naked Ladies, "If I Had $1 Million"?
Yes, I do know that song, actually, believe it or not.
That is Jalen Hurts' theme song right now. You'll get that fancy mustard. But you look at it, Jalen Hurts, breaking news this morning on every social, every network.
Yeah.
New deal. We didn't hear anything about how they were working on a new deal at this point. We knew they said they would look at it this offseason, and the Eagles tweeted out, "Man, done deal."
Yeah.
Easy. It really was or is the playbook, if you will, on how to get a deal done on a massive contract when you have two sides that want to get a deal done.
That is the key right there. The last sentence you said, if both sides want to get a deal done, the deal can get done. But if one side has an ego the size of the United States,
Maryland,
then it's tough. And, and look, Lamar Jackson, loved the guy. He plays so well. But after seeing these numbers now, and after this deal came out with Jalen Hurts, and we're seeing that the Ravens have actually, at least in my opinion, been pretty damn fair. And the contract offer they gave him was prior to the football season last year. And it was a 3-year deal, $133 million guaranteed, $175 he gets if he gets injured. And if he makes it to that third year, $200 million guaranteed. So, I mean, my gosh, I'm not sure exactly. And that's a 3-year deal. I mean, he could become a free agent after that and go get another one. Seems fair to me. I don't know.
The $179.3 million in new guarantees for Jalen is the second largest of a guarantee. Deshaun Watson still has the record. The overall value of the contract is the richest in NFL history. The agent, Nicole Lynn, who negotiated the contract for Jalen Hurts, even got a no trade clause.
Yes, he did.
In that. So you look at, and obviously the immediate comparisons go right to Lamar. And Lamar, the money that we're hearing was over 3 years. This is over 5. I don't know how Lamar continues to turn down that kind of money other than he wants to make sure that his guarantees are north of Deshaun Watson's. I look at Jalen Hurts, let's just call it 180, 179.3. Right. That's a lot of money. I'm no math wizard, but $255 million, or what's Deshaun's?
230.
230, right? It's 230, right?
Yeah.
180, 230. That's a big difference in guaranteed money.
Sure it is.
And if you're Jalen Hurts, did you sit there and say, well, Deshaun's guarantee is this? That's $50 million difference in guaranteed money. I'll never be able to spend all that money, but I want it. I want to open up my bank account or read the headlines at ESPN.com that says, I don't understand even more so now how Lamar continues to wait.
Well, seeing this really opened my eyes today because this all came out, and Ian Rappaport was on Pat McAfee's show today and was talking about this, and he kind of dropped this bombshell and couldn't believe it.
So there's a person, what's her name? Sarah Ellison on the Twitters.
Shout out, Sarah.
Who actually kind of broke it down based on it's SG Ellison is if you want to look. I believe her breakdown comparing the two deals is accurate. If you want to throw it up here at some point.
Yeah, I see this right now.
This is I do believe the Ravens will probably adjust and use this to help get Lamar done. But the deal they offered him was pretty strong. I mean, look at those numbers, right? So total value,
$200 million. Lamar Jackson's total guarantee was $200 million. We know that.
I believe that includes a kicker that would have kicked it in year 2, but obviously you're not going to cut him after 1 year. So I believe that is essentially the total guarantee.
Really? I don't think we've ever heard.
No, that was the discussion we had between the virtual and the actual guaranteed, and that's what we were saying.
Yeah, but it was like 100.
Yeah. It was like a $65 million difference between what was actually guaranteed and then what the number they were saying.
I don't know. It was $200 million was the guarantee. Now it feels like we've gotten a lot wrong. The Ravens have offered Lamar Jackson $200 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, he says that based on reports.
Right.
I don't know that we actually know because you've seen all kinds of numbers, but they're all in that same range. I don't know what's accurate or what's not. But if Lamar was offered up to $200 million guaranteed with that injury kicker and 175 over 3 years.
3 years. That's the thing. 3 years.
Jalen just got 179.3 over 5.
Right.
Now,
I don't know how you pass that up. I really don't. And it baffles me. I mean, that's generational money.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's 133, goodness gracious.
At 100 million.
Of course, but all he's got to look, if he doesn't get injured, that's great. If he's on the roster, 200 million.
And it feels more like an NBA deal at 3 years.
Yes.
Than an NFL deal at 5 years.
Then you can go out and get another one. And he'll only be 29 years old.
And so you look at Lamar, instead of celebrating the contract that Jalen Hurts was able to sign today in the Eagles, and I think great, because I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Burrow and the Bengals are quickly to announce their deal, and they've said there will be no negotiating in the press.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert, then you're on. And then you even have to look at Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott, whether he gets an extension or not. If Jerry makes this a prove-it year and Dak does that, or even if he doesn't, but Jerry decides to extend him, it's only going to cost more because this really does feel like a deal that you might see the Cowboys do with Dak Prescott. This part of me thinks it's, while the total number is high, the guaranteed money I thought would be more for the Jalen Hurts, the Justin Herberts, and the Joe Burrows. But this does feel more in line with what NFL teams want to see, not what Lamar is trying to get done, and shows that the Deshaun deal really is an outlier. So, kind of like home comps in real estate, they took that one out and went, let's look here and come up with a deal.
Dak ain't getting $180 million guaranteed. I'm going to tell you that right now. And if they do, I am going to send a psychiatrist to Jerry Jones' house.
You're not the only one.
$180 million guaranteed. He won't get that. Won't happen. I don't care if he's next or not. He ain't getting $180 million guaranteed.
Nick Caserio goes all Wolf of Wall Street today. We'll explain as we continue here on the Blitz. First, though, let me tell you about Noble Gold Investments and their website, noblegoldinvestments.com. Gold is the most stable asset outside of any government control. And physical assets like gold and silver have weathered countless financial storms throughout history. Gold Investments, they help protect your financial future by offering a secure and convenient way to invest in physical precious metals, rare coins, or a gold and silver IRA. It can help you diversify your portfolio. At noblegoldinvestments.com, you can learn how investing in precious metals help guard against inflation, hedge against the dollar, and so much more. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. Use promo code STAR to get a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin with each gold or silver IRA if you qualify. NobleGoldInvestments.com is the website. NobleGoldInvestments.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Clippers guard Russell Westbrook is being investigated by the NBA for an encounter with a fan in Phoenix before Sunday's Game 1. Westbrook and the Clippers actually won that game. They lead that best-of-7 set, 1-0. Tonight, the Texas Rangers open up a series in Kansas City against the Royals. It's a game you can catch on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It all gets started at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. The Blitz continues next.
At Lowe's, we're always bringing pros more ways to save on the brands you trust. Right now, buy a DeWalt 20-volt Power Stack Max 2-pack battery for $199. Get a select DeWalt Bear tool free with savings starting at $139. Plus, you'll always save big on job lot quantities when buying select building supplies in bulk. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, Lowe's reserves the right to limit quantities. Discount taken at time of purchase. Battery and charger not included with free items. Valid 5-3.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs that will significantly reduce the amount you owe if you qualify. Accredited Debt Relief has helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. For this free information, call 800-820-3131. That's 800-820-3131.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids than ride in an ambulance.
I'd rather have a catch with my dog Curtis than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease, asthma, or diabetes, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Learn more at Prevnar20.com. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right, but right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Nick Caserio held a press conference today if you're a Texans fan, he did address the elephant in the room all last week. All these rumors about Nick Caserio leaving the Texans shortly after the draft. Now, we talked to John McClain every Thursday, and John McClain, while on the air with us, even tweeted out that Nick Caserio isn't going anywhere. And he started the press conference today by saying he's not going anywhere.
Before we take any questions, quite frankly, I'm almost embarrassed that I have to say anything. Honestly, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street, but I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
We understood when we arrived, when we got here, that there was a lot of work to be done. And I think when you look across the NFL landscape, there's work to be done in every organization. And I think we've made some progress where we still have a lot of work in front of us. But I can't, I'm honestly, I'm almost embarrassed that I have to say anything, but I feel like I have an obligation to, to make that statement.
I'm not leaving. So Nick's not going anywhere?
He's not going anywhere.
Nick's not going anywhere, huh?
No, apparently not.
No, he's not leaving. He's not going anywhere. Now, is he going to draft a quarterback? Yeah, he didn't tell us that.
Yeah, I think, there's a lot of different ways to go through the team. We'll look at everything. I think D'Amico made some comments. I want to say he spoke last Monday or something like that. He was asking questions, but, we want to have a good football team. I think building the team is the most important thing. How that all comes together. There's always multiple moving parts. So, we'll do whatever we think is best for our team and try to make good decisions. And the goal is to try to make good decisions over the course of time. So, our next opportunity is Thursday night. So we'll continue the team building process and try to build on some of the things we've done here in the spring.
They're going to carry this thing out to the bitter end. But, why not look at somebody? If somebody wants to jump up to number 2, I would entertain those conversations.
Well, he is.
We've received some calls, actually, on the number 2 pick. So I think our job and responsibility is to listen. Not rule anything out. And I think whatever the end result is, come Thursday, we'll be prepared to go either way. So if you want to quote me, are we open for business? I'd say we're open to listening. So if you want to change the vocabulary this year a little bit, but we have received a few calls. And again, I think our responsibility is to listen, to try to take the information in and then just make the right decision.
Obviously, you got to listen to those phone calls, because if somebody calls you and offers you a treasure trove of draft picks and whatever, you got to listen to that, don't you?
You do.
And I'm still not sold that they are just think that CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, either one, are the future. And if they get a better deal, they'll take it.
Well, in the other part of that, if they want a guy that eats bananas without peeling them or puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Who Danny Cannell today said was the most overhyped quarterback in a decade, which is hard to believe.
Ooh.
Will Levis is what he said. He said that today.
Wait. So Will Levis, who puts mayonnaise in his coffee, according to Danny Cannell, we might have to call Danny and get him on.
Yeah.
Is the most overhyped.
Overhyped.
I think about, I don't know. Let's see, Paxton Lynch. He was a first-round guy.
Yeah, well, I see a lot of them, right? The Mitch Trubisky. I just don't know about hyped, and I think that's what it is. And whether you like Will Levis or not, you got to give him a lot of credit. He is a hype machine. And Cannell's point was, just because the dude has, guns when he puts on half his shirt or whatever, people are getting all caught up in that. It doesn't mean he's a good quarterback.
Well, in the Josh Allen type comparison to his style of football, and let's face it, he was at Kentucky. It's not like he's playing with a lot of NFL talent.
Still, he was in the SEC.
At Kentucky. Vanderbilt's also in the SEC.
Yes, they are.
So
they're smart at Vandy. I'm not sure about Kentucky.
Well,
I'm sure they're smart in Kentucky too. No offense, anybody.
No, you can offend them because what you said was true.
Well, it's Kentucky. Oh.
But if they want a Will Levis, or they could always move back some and collect a whole lot of picks, right? Then as Jeff Conway is saying on YouTube Live, which is true, maybe they want to wait till next year for Caleb Williams.
That's a big roll of the dice. I understand why. I mean,
Sure.
that guy's a hell of a talent, but
and you
that's
might
a
get
big roll of the
a
dice.
Cliff Kingsbury that comes with them, or
Well,
a Lincoln Riley.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
maybe you get Lincoln Riley and Cliff becomes the head coach at USC. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the dominoes fall, but I don't know with what they have done with their roster that they're going to be in position to get a Caleb Williams next year. Now, granted, if you go another year with Davis Mills at quarterback, you're going to have a chance at a Caleb Williams, but they have done a solid job of building a roster. Although, dude on with Rob and Rudy this morning, this analytics draft guru type from me, what's his name? Mike Clay, right? And again, go listen to the interview at ESPNSA.com. The audio vault brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. But this Mike Clay guy, said the worst roster still is the Houston Texans. So
Really?
even with all their moves, now granted, they don't have a quarterback right now. See, that could change with a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud.
Well, even with the
but
greatest
not
tight
much.
end of all time going to Houston? I can't believe
Wait,
it.
when did Travis Kelce move?
Oh, I thought we were talking about the other greatest tight end, Dalton Schultz.
No, he was the greatest tight end this year on the Cowboys roster.
Oh,
I
I
mean, you
see,
got to
I
read
see.
all the way through the
Okay,
factual
all right,
statements.
all right.
And now he's just a guy with the Houston Texans.
Dude, I think Houston's going to be better than that. I don't know where this guy's getting his numbers, but some of the moves that they've made.
His job.
But I think, okay, so what? I can go and look at a horse sheet, right, and bet on a horse.
Oh, you
and
said
I know,
sheet, right?
Yes. And everything I see on there, well, the odds for this guy or that guy, and my horse comes in last.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I always bet on the number 2 horse.
Well, I don't know about the number 2 horse. You know how you bet a dog at a dog race?
Yes.
The one that poops.
Yes.
If that dog poops before it gets to the starting line, put your money on that dog.
Track advice from Joe and Jason, reasons why we still have jobs.
Exactly.
Don't listen to us. My father-in-law used to always, no matter what, he would always put the number 2 horse in his business. So if we're at Retama or we're somewhere, we always, somewhere in something, we'll always have the number 2 horse. A couple of times I've actually paid a tab with that, but for the most part, it's been a donation.
I love dog racing. Always have. I think it's for me, it's more fun. I like horse racing too, but it's quicker. And the dogs, and they're kind of cool. Used to be a greyhound track down in Corpus Christi.
I was going to say, only those that grew up near a dog track prefer dogs over horses.
Not necessarily, because when I used to go out to Retama Park a lot.
Yeah.
And I'd bet on the dogs there.
Sure.
And the simulcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It works.
It's fun.
It works. It works better than, say, doing a live TV hit from your hotel room in Phoenix at dark 30.
Wow.
Yeah, what happened to Brian Windhorst today is comical. We will explain as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Beautiful weather we're having here in San Antonio, isn't it? I mean, yesterday was perfect. Today, another great day, but it is spring. It's April, right? That means the storms are coming. They will happen. They will. And so you need to have somebody's number put away where you can find it. That's Stevens Roofing. You just never know what kind of storms we are in for coming up and what that's going to do to your roof, whether it's wind or rain or hail or whatever the case may be. And you know what's going to happen, right? Once that happens, they're going to, the invasion of these guys from out of town knocking on your door saying, we got a deal for you. Do not trust that. You want to do this because a great saying by Stevens Roofing. They say, buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing. And it's absolutely true. You don't want to go with somebody from out of town. You want to go with somebody that is here, somebody that experiences the same type of weather that you and I deal with on a daily basis. In fact, the professionals at Stevens Roofing repair and install all kinds of roofs. They can do metal roofs, composition, obviously, and they can do commercial roofs as well. And they'll work with your insurance company. If you've got an insurance claim, let Stevens Roofing handle that for you. They'll take care of it. You don't have to worry about it. Give them a call, 210-785-0994. They can come out and check your roof now if you want them to, or after that storm, they'll come out and they'll check for damage and give you an honest assessment. Whether it's a simple leak or you need a whole new roof, Stevens Roofing is your local roofer, here for you, rain or shine, for years to come. Online at stevensroofing.net. But don't forget that saying. I like it. Buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing. 210-785-0994.
It's the NFL Draft on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner. The Dallas Cowboys select. This is going to be a fun player to watch.
Next Thursday, join 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star for this year's NFL Draft. Live from Kansas City. Who do the Cowboys and Texans pick? Does Jerry make a splash? Who goes number one? And who's the next Mr. Irrelevant? Find out right here on your exclusive home for the Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, when you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I know I've used Hill Electric in my house for a variety of projects through the years, and they do fantastic work. Have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses, and they have the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates, so it costs you nothing to figure out what it takes to get a project completed. So call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com.
The Low Post Podcast with Zach Lowe.
Tatum, I think at worst, he's third in MVP right now. He's playing defense at a borderline all-defense level. He's too young for these conversations to really start in earnest. If he's a Celtic for life for most of his career, he has a chance to be historically, for the one of the 2 historic giants in the league, as great as any player who's ever worn that uniform, including Bird.
Check out the Low Post Podcast on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially since you're always growing and changing. Therapy is all about deepening that self-awareness, because sometimes you don't know what you really want until you talk things through. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. Visit betterhelp.com/score to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/score.
Are you suffering from hair loss, bald spots, receding hairlines? There's a new solution for men and women that uses regenerative medicine to stimulate hair follicles and give you thicker, fuller hair with no surgery. This remarkable treatment is now available here from the regenerative specialists at QC Kinetics. That's right, the same protocols that help relieve joint pain can be used to give new life to dormant hair follicles. QC Kinetics medical professionals can use growth factors from your own body, concentrated and applied to your scalp, restoring hair follicles, preventing further loss, and increasing hair growth. Imagine thicker, fuller hair with no expensive surgery and no downtime. So if you're losing your hair due to aging, pattern baldness, or a medical condition, call now to learn more about exciting natural biologic treatments, regenerative medicine that can stimulate those dormant hair follicles. Get your hair growing naturally again. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUS for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUS for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUS.
The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe, I'm Jason. Hey, look, the Spurs lost again.
God, that's horrible. I hope that's not a sign of things to come.
Dude, they lost a coin flip.
To the Houston Rockets of all people.
Son of a... Hate losing to Houston.
I hate using it. Look, all that says is they're the third worst team in the NBA. Their odds to get Wemby are still at 14%. But if things go really bad, the worst they could fall to is number 7 instead of number 6.
So the floor changed. They took another step down, I guess.
Well, yeah, a worst case scenario, right? So the odds are that they won't finish worse than 4th.
Here's the thing. They still have a 14% chance of getting Wemby.
They do.
And or Scoot, or say Brandon Miller, right?
Right.
So if worst case scenario, if they won the coin flip today, is 6, and if that was true, that's just as devastating as picking 7.
Yeah, either way, if they fall that far and just become that unlucky, then yeah, it's a disaster.
You know, if we get Wemby, we'll be closer and closer to Windhorst doing TV hits on Get Up from a hotel room in San Antonio. Although ESPN, or at least Windhorst, might rethink the idea of working from the hotel rooms while on the road. You know, and that became a thing during COVID. Look, we can put people on TV anywhere, right?
Right.
And so Windhorst was on Get Up this morning. And I don't know what hotel he's staying in. I'm going to assume a nice one.
Looked like a nice one.
But apparently one with very paper-thin walls, or whatever Windhorst was doing in there. Let's just say his neighbor was not happy. So Wendy went in the golf mode while on Get Up this morning. That didn't include Greeny, of course, but he went in the golf mode because he had already pissed off his neighbor in the hotel.
Wendy, that's why I'm playing injured. I'm trying to figure out, why are you the only one whispering? Everyone else is answering questions and talking. You're whispering. Why are you whispering?
Well, we all have adverse situations, and apparently someone in the hotel room next to me was not a Get Up viewer and not happy about the early wake-up call here in Phoenix. And let's just say that messages have been delivered not in a soft manner. So I'm trying to avoid having a wrap on any part of my body.
Did the hotel manager tell you, knock on your door and say, quiet down in there?
This individual did not contact the manager, but their point was made very strongly. So I'm trying to respect my neighbors here in Phoenix before 7 a.m. here.
That is true. Tell them to turn on Get Up, man. They know why. You got backup coming, Wendy. We got you, brother. Yeah.
That's probably one of those banging, shut the F up.
Can you imagine? And Windhorst looked frightened.
He did.
And he is not a little guy. So I can only imagine a very large man in a robe banging on Windhorst's door at, 5, 6 a.m. local time?
What time does Get Up begin on the East Coast?
8?
Is it 8?
7?
7?
Well, I wake up.
That'd be 4 o'clock in the morning.
So you think 4 or 5? I know he said before 7, but it's stupid early in Phoenix, which is 2 hours behind, or on the East Coast, 3 hours behind.
Yes.
So imagine the guy didn't call the manager. The guy was banging on the door. So I'm just imagining somebody like a Rob Thompson in his robe, angry that he's been woken up by the noise going on in that room. Now, again, this is a nice hotel. Were those paper-thin walls? Because
aren't they all?
Well, I mean, we've all heard noises while staying at hotel rooms,
Things
right?
banging.
I mean, it happens.
Headboards.
Headboards. All right.
Banging.
I mean, but what is Windhorst doing, right?
Well, he's talking just like you and I. I mean, think about it. We're in the studio.
Yeah.
Right? But we talk loud. I mean, we do.
But loud enough for the guy next door to hear?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not like he was out on the balcony.
No. But, you know, you never know.
So,
I mean,
so do you think the guy would have been upset if he heard other noises, or because it's just one guy talking to himself, he just didn't want to hear any of that?
Wendy was probably talking very loud just because you project.
Yes.
Right when you're on the air. And so he probably
then
was.
He went in the golf voice.
And he was like, yes.
Yes, last night Kevin Durant lost his 7th straight.
That had to be weird for the guys back in the studio, though.
Like, what are you doing? Well,
Yeah.
imagine Windhorst setting up and, somebody's banging on the door, and the last thing you want on live television is somebody banging on your hotel door. It's like the dog barking, back when we were doing the show from the kitchen and the dogs would bark, right? I mean, it happens.
It happens.
It's live.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Maybe ESPN should get Wendy a better room, like a suite.
Looked like he had one.
I don't know.
I mean, well, and again, if you're in a suite, the guy in the next suite, he paid a whole lot of money not to get woken up by loud noises coming from the next room. That
funny stuff.
That was well, but what do you? He's got a little small camera set up, kind of like what we're using for YouTube Live.
I don't know what he's got. How he's got it set up.
You think he had a crew in there setting up on the road?
I get the feeling that Wendy probably has a camera guy because with a backpack, that's what we called them. They're little backpacks and you can go from anywhere. And it was a game changer, man.
Yeah,
because you didn't have to follow the big Winnebago satellite truck around everywhere.
Yeah,
it was brilliant.
Yeah,
loved it.
Okay,
that's probably what he's doing. That didn't look like a Zoom or anything like it. Looked like quality stuff.
So you think he had a whole crew in there?
Well,
makeup, craft services.
He doesn't need a whole crew, just a camera guy.
Oh, it's Windhorst. He probably does need a whole
crew.
No,
maybe he does.
I mean, an audio guy, 2 camera people,
somebody to bring breakfast,
hair, makeup, craft services.
Yeah,
absolutely. Let's talk about the games he was quietly talking about this morning on Get Up. Wild weekend in the NBA, upsets and injuries. The storylines. We'll dive into that after this Sports Center update.
This is the Blitz with Jason and Joe. KTFM Floresville and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Oh, those Spurs lost to those Houston Rockets today. Spurs now the 3rd worst team in the NBA, meaning in worst case scenario, the Spurs would fall no lower than 7 instead of 6. They still have a 14% chance of getting the number 1 pick. And the Spurs want to play in Austin again next year, and the year after that, they're going to ask Bexar County commissioners if they can get that done tomorrow. Blitz continues next.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Hope your Monday is going well.
It's a beautiful day.
NBA playoffs got started over the weekend.
Yes, they did. A lot of upsets.
A lot of good games. A couple of blowouts that you would expect. And the late one last night, I'm glad I didn't stay up to see the ending of it. But overall, I thought the NBA playoffs, with the upsets that we saw, were certainly there. The injuries, though, you wonder the overall ramifications. I mean, you think about the Milwaukee Bucks. If Giannis is out for an extended period of time, they are screwed.
That's huge. And Ja Morant with Memphis.
Yep.
He hasn't been officially ruled out for game 2, but it looks like that it's a long shot that he plays. So that's going to certainly hurt them too.
You look at it, looking at some of the games this weekend, some of the surprises, if you will. I mean, Philly beat Brooklyn, no surprise there. They should be up easy 2-0 after tonight's game. That's the early game tonight. Boston beat Atlanta. Knicks over the Cavs. That one, I think.
The Warriors, Knicks over the Cavs. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. Sorry.
That's one that you kind of feel like a series could go over either way, but a lot of the quote-unquote experts were picking Cleveland. That was a nice win by the Knicks. Fun game to watch. Sacramento and Golden State.
That was a fun game to watch.
And they play game 2 tonight. That's the late game tonight. Charles Barkley's not a fan of late games.
No, he's not.
But you look at Sacramento getting the win. Now, Steph Curry had a chance and didn't knock it down. The Warriors have struggled on the road for whatever reason. They need to get this one. Not going to call it a must-win.
Please don't. Do not call it a must-win because it's not.
But they need it.
Well, it's a game they'd like to win.
Well, of course. But they need the must-win mentality.
Dude. They're going to come in and want to win the game, of course. But they're going back home. after this one. Win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, but you don't want to go down 0-2.
Well,
and there won't be a draw.
I guess not. They'll have to fit. So win or lose. But look, dude, they're where'd this dude come from? Like all of a sudden, hey, dude.
Yeah. Let's call you Tim Spence.
What's that? Yeah, right. Well, the mere fact is they're playing in Sacramento today. And so they'll go back to Golden State, and they'll win both of those games. So, yeah, it's a game they'd like to win. They definitely have the advantage going back to Golden State if they get it. But if they don't, I don't think anybody's going to sweat it.
I think Golden State is sweating it. They're not the same, but they can be. Now, you look at the two LA teams. Were they the most impressive this weekend?
The Clippers, I will give that. The Lakers, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure Memphis is just a kind of a circus show in a way right now. And Ja Morant, I don't think it's been the same since he was suspended. But, I mean, they've got LeBron James, so you got to take him seriously. But Kawhi Leonard was the guy. He was incredible and completely shut down Kevin Durant. That was a more impressive performance than the Lakers' performance.
And I want to go back to the Lakers' performance because when Anthony Davis got hurt in the first half, I can't feel my arm.
Yeah.
Here we go again. When that team is healthy, they can be good.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis with Ja Morant, and he hasn't quite been the same in everything that he's dealt with. But when he left with that injury and ran off the court, and that looked like it hurt, even though X-rays were negative.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, even if he is able to play later in this series, I don't know if he's going to be good to go for game 2, but game 3 or 4. But mentally, you just wonder if Ja Morant is just ready for this season to be over.
Very tough, stressful. Obviously, I feel like, you guys can tell with, my body language and stuff now, how I'm pretty much, taking, what happened in. I don't know, man. I'm just, pretty much numb to everything now. It's like I'm not even surprised. It's one thing after another.
I just think mentally, Ja Morant has got to be,
tired,
toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and then you get this happen, that just kind of, you can hear how it weighs on him there. And again, he hasn't been officially ruled out that I've seen for game 2, but it doesn't look good. So I just don't think Memphis, obviously I don't think they can win without him, but even with him, I think it's going to be a very difficult task.
And losing that game 1, and I know it's only game 1, Joe.
Yes, it is.
But they were up, had a chance,
mm-hmm.
and they couldn't get that for the Lakers to steal one on the road, which, if you're the road team, you just want to get a split, right?
Sure.
And they were able to accomplish that. But when Anthony Davis is healthy and playing strong, he is just he's that good. And
you can't count on that, though. That's the problem.
It is. And again, when he got hurt, here we go.
You weren't surprised, were you?
No. In LeBron being LeBron, interesting. And then you look at the Clippers going into Phoenix and getting that win yesterday might have been the most impressive. And I don't know, part of me, I'm not quite mature enough to give number 2 all the credit in the world that he should be getting right now, because he was phenomenal yesterday. He was phenomenal yesterday.
He really was. And I hate to give him any kind of credit, but you have to give it where it's due. And boy, he just shut Kevin Durant down. I mean, shut him down. And not only was he playing that kind of defense on Kevin Durant, what he scored 38 points.
It was
incredible.
Well, and then even like Westbrook. While Westbrook didn't have a great game, his fourth quarter play was impressive. Again, you have to give him credit, even when you don't want to. You have to give that guy credit when he wants to play. That was for a guy that made 3 shots in the game. What was he? 3 of 14,000. It felt like to have that kind of an impact on both ends. And again, I don't know if I should be crediting the Clippers. And the Clippers are like, well, we've been saving Kawhi just for these moments. I mean, they've taken the bubble wrap off and all right, go play. It's playoff time. Go earn your money. And you see that, and it's frustrating as hell for a variety of reasons for all of us here in San Antonio. But I don't know if I should be more impressed with what I saw with the Clippers or start questioning the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant, and I didn't realize this stat, has now lost 7 straight playoff games with multiple teams, which is kind of comical.
Yeah.
But do you start looking at a guy like Monty? Chris Paul is what he is, and the lack of playoff success for CP3 is well documented, but Devin Booker has been there, and they've been so close so many times. But then to have a game 1 performance like that, you start wondering if it's just more than, all right, we added Kevin Durant to an already good team, we should be that much better. I don't get it. I don't get what I'm seeing out of the Phoenix Suns.
I think if you're a Suns fan, it's one game. It's a 7-game series, and I think we all overreact to wins and losses. Pop used to say that all the time. Everybody overreacts to wins and losses.
Well, that's what we do.
What is what we do? But look, let's see what kind of adjustments Monty has for the Clippers. Because when I look at a home team, Jason, losing game 1, then that's closer to a must-win game than anything than what you're talking about, say, with Golden State. Because you lose the first 2 at home, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
You get the guy go on the road and win 2, and that's not an easy thing to do. So game 2 for the Suns is certainly important, and it's a game where you talk about needing to win. They need to win. It's not a must-win, but they need it.
Boy, you want to say that again?
It is not a must-win game.
But
look, we overuse that term so much. Must win.
Absolutely.
It's not a must win. The only must win is an elimination game. That's it.
By definition.
By anything else.
But we all love a game 7, right?
Absolutely we do.
But you have to lose 3 games to get to a game 7.
Correct. And so what's your point?
I'm saying we overuse.
You have no point.
We overuse a lot of things. What else is new? We overuse a lot of things.
We do. We do.
But this is if I'm Golden State, I'm going into this game with a must-win mentality. If I'm Steve Kerr, that is what I'm saying to my group. We have sucked this year on the road. Going down 0-2. Sure, we can come back 2-2, but until we prove we can win on the road, you're going to
lose.
But if we get to a game 7, guess where it's going to be? So let's not try to get into a game 7 situation. Let's must win this one. So then maybe we can take care of things and quit messing with air traffic control with that light they shine in the sky.
Of course, he's going to say we need to win this game, guys. Must win. I'm not so sure. What I'm saying is I think Monty Williams is in more of a must win type of scenario than is Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Because Monty Williams has to go on the road after game 2, but it's
as
still,
opposed to going home.
Still not a must win. Because look, if you're the Phoenix Suns,
do we need to go all Hoosiers and measure the court and everything?
Absolutely. And the Clippers come in and win 2 on your floor.
Are
you not professional enough to think that you can go win 2 on theirs?
You never know.
Of course they can. The answer, Jason, is yes. They can. Yes,
but they haven't shown it. Right.
Well, this is the first round of the playoffs.
Well, you look at Golden State this year hasn't been good on the road. That's why tonight's must win.
It is a game they would love to have. It is not a must win. Big difference, my friend. One of these days you'll learn. You and Michael Jimenez, want to throw that must win stuff around.
No, I'm not laying in sand.
Thank God.
I just look at it. You're right. By definition, it's not a must-win, but it'd be really, really, really good if they were to get this.
Absolutely. And by definition, game 3 won't be a must-win. Even if they lose this one, this must-win. Even if they lose this must-win, the next one's not a must-win.
Do we have any, thank you letter, Jimmy Kimmel style for Joe on defining what is a must-win? Captain Obvious. Yeah.
Captain Obvious. Then stop using the term if it's so obvious.
It's an important game.
It's a very important. They're all important, according to Greg Popovich.
Well, they are, except when they're not.
Every game is important.
Except when they're not.
Well, in the playoffs, they pretty much are.
Oh, in the playoffs.
They're all important.
So you didn't say that.
They're all important.
By definition, you didn't say that. You said all of them, and I think the Spurs have proven that's not true.
I thought we were in the playoffs, and so
you assumed. What?
We are in playoff NBA mode right now? Is
yeah.
Are we not?
So
I mean,
now we just completely changed the vernacular.
I'm just saying.
I
Are
mean,
we
if
in the
every game
playoffs?
is important, are you talking about every game or
I'm
just
talking-
every playoff game? You didn't say that, so I just wanted to clarify.
Well, it depends on what team you're talking about, right? For the Spurs, they didn't give a damn about any of them.
Well, no, and hell, even lost a coin flip today.
Exactly.
Probably did that on purpose too.
Correct. No, I don't think so.
Heads I win, tails you lose.
That
Let's
was a must win for the Spurs, and they lost.
See, every win's important or loss because a late season loss against the Mavericks cost the Spurs in a coin flip.
Well, they actually won that game. You're right.
That's what I meant.
Yes, that's so.
You were not used to talking about the Spurs and winning.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's hard to do.
So that win over Dallas
hurt
the Spurs.
Yes.
And in some ways cost Mark Cuban a whole lot of money.
It did. Well,
so either way we win.
I guess. Yeah, but Mark Cuban's got a lot of that money.
He does.
So I don't think he really cares.
Cowboy James has been on hold for an hour and 15 minutes.
God bless you, Cowboy James.
I hope he's still awake. Should we take his call? Or
Yeah, no, take his call.
He wants to talk about a dude we don't want to talk about. I mean, what it says on the screen just says, why, Cowboy James? Why? Oh, here, I'll push the button. It's my job. Forgot. Sorry. What's up, Cowboy James?
Not much, man. Hey, I'm a fan of the show, so hey, I'll hold on as long as you need me to hold on.
You are the man. So
how you guys doing today?
We're doing good, man. It says on the screen that you want to tell us that Kawhi should still be a Spur. Why do you want to open up that wound, man? It's Monday. I thought you were a friend. I thought you were a fan.
Hey, I'm a fan of you, but I know that's a sore spot with you.
Thanks.
But your frustration should be with Pop, man. I mean, two reasons why. We tried to send him to Siberia. That didn't work. We ended up with egg on our face with that one. And, he goes to the Clippers. They say, hey, he's hurt. We'll let him sit as long as he needs to or what have you. And, Pop and his cronies, i.e. Tony Parker, tried to force an issue. And, when the Clippers were willing to be patient. And now look, they're missing the guy, and he puts the team on his back. We're not only game one, but we drafted him. We changed the patient. I mean, are we going to do the same thing with Wemby? Just because he's not Tim Duncan?
Hold on.
I mean, come on, guys.
Cowboy
James.
Hang on
Love
a second.
you. But
Yes.
let me just tell you, Kawhi Leonard screwed the Spurs. It was not the other way around.
Correct.
Know this for a fact. He did not want to be in San Antonio and was going to force his way out no matter what. And he threw everybody under the bus he could think of on his way out of town. I am happy that dude is in Los Angeles. He can win all the championships he wants. He screwed the San Antonio Spurs. That's why they're in the lottery now.
And the Spurs really did try to bend over backwards for him and the uncle and everything else. And yeah, they sent him to Siberia. That was the best deal they could get. And ultimately, Kawhi went over there for a year, got a ring, and got to LA, which is where he wanted to go to begin with. And if Ballmer is willing to pay him all that money for playoffs only,
And then the Spurs go and trade away one of the best things they got from that trade and just give him back to Toronto. Derek White's gone. DeJounte Murray's gone.
And Derek White is playing well.
He sure is. How about that?
Derek White's playing well. And one of the things, were you watching the game, the Boston game?
I did not see the Boston game.
There was a point in the broadcast where they talked about how he struggled when he came over in a trade last year, and that tends to happen. But how much improvement he has made in his game after a full year with the Boston system and being in their training camp and really developing into that. And I was like, are they hammering the Spurs or crediting Derek White and the Celtics?
Maybe a little of both.
Yeah, it's possible. Rudolph Gonzalez on YouTube says, man, that Cowboy James waited 2 hours to be that wrong.
Love Cowboy James.
Good dude. Good
Yes.
dude. Love him when he comes out and sees us at various places when we're doing the show out live, especially like when we go to the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. And with playoffs going on, baseball is in effect, all the fights, there's no better place to go watch games than at the Roo Pub. 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens. TVs all around, and when you go to the Roo Pub, go hungry. The food there is fantastic, all made from scratch. They have the best and biggest wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, great appetizers. I'm told they have great salads, and that kitchen is open late until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So when you need that late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, Jalen Hurts got paid. How does this affect Lamar Jackson?
And 2 cups of coffee because we're going to be up late watching basketball. Hoops and football. That's a R&R in the morning. Party starts at 6.
R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Having McDonald's breakfast is delicious. Having someone else get you McDonald's breakfast is delicious-er. Right now, get a big breakfast with hot cakes for just $4.99, only at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with Dwayne Sharping of Roofix. Hey, Dwayne, tell me about solar.
Well, you want solar to look beautiful. It's going to increase the value of your home. I mean, call us here at Roofix Solar Energy. Our solar is innovated. Our systems are installed just like shingles. They're really powerful, and we can really cut out in the utility bill.
Call 210-FIX-ROOF. It's time for solar. He said it. I'm doing it. Call 210-FIX-ROOF. Put it on a roof. Save some money. Call Roofix today.
Roofix, home of the low price guarantee. San Antonio is charging ahead, bucking the competition, grabbing opportunity by the horns, and watch us be relentless. This is your team. Experience more football. Experience XFL. Your San Antonio Brahmas close out the regular season against the DC Defenders at the Alamo Dome, Saturday, April 22nd at 2 p.m. Tickets on sale now. Visit xfl.com/tickets.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked, classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Gold and other precious metals stand the test of time and can help you diversify your portfolio. Jason Minix here for Noble Gold Investments. Physical assets like gold and silver have weathered countless financial storms. You have seen what has happened to some banks recently. Gold is the most stable asset outside of any government control. At Noble Gold Investments, they help protect your financial future by offering a secure and convenient way to invest in physical precious metals, rare coins, or a gold and silver IRA. Gold, silver, and other precious metals will always protect against market fluctuations. At NobleGoldInvestments.com, learn how investing in precious metals help guard against inflation, hedge against the dollar, and so much more. Go to NobleGoldInvestments.com. Use promo code STAR to get a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin with each gold or silver IRA if you qualify. NobleGoldInvestments.com. That's NobleGoldInvestments.com.
Smoker's Paradise is having a huge 420 sale, Thursday, April 20th only. Receive 25% off your entire purchase, excluding tobacco products, and the first 50 customers get a free goodie bag with purchase. Visit smokersparadise.com and drop by all day, all locations, Thursday for their 420 sale.
Are you ready to party with a purpose? Taste of the Northside is Tuesday, April 25th from the Security Service Event Center. It's the most exclusive Fiesta event hosted by Brighton Center and presented by HEB. It's a Fiesta event for foodies that includes on-site covered parking, entertainment, and unlimited tastings from over 25 premier restaurants. Get your tickets at tasteofthenorthside.org. Proceeds benefit Brighton Center, the largest nonprofit in San Antonio, serving children with disabilities through pediatric therapy and education initiatives.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, the playoffs continue. We'll look back at the games. Also, Seth Walders join us. He's an NFL analyst with ESPN, analytics galore. Going to tell us where the Cowboys and who the Cowboys are going to draft. Great show. That's tomorrow. Now back to the Blitz. Two guys at work all week long. Hope you had a great weekend. Hey, Joe, when are we coming over to swim?
The invitation's in the mail, Rob.
Really?
Sure.
Uh-huh. I find it interesting. The guy that has the pool that's never invited any of us over to go swimming at his house is asking
Wants
you.
to come to my house.
Understandable.
It makes sense.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Friday, we're going to be live out at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, their newest location there at 281 and Thousand Oaks. We're going to be out there with the Viva La Brawl types. They're giving away tickets. Davies Entertainment's bringing Viva La Brawl to the Techport Center on May 5th this Friday. You can get some tickets. So we'll see you out at Slackers Friday afternoon starting at 3 o'clock. Now, it is, I know the NBA playoffs are going on, but it's all draft for the next 2 weeks, and everything is heating up. Teams are holding press conferences and things like that at this point of the year just to lie to everybody because nobody's really going to tell you what they're doing. Although, whether you think he's lying or not, the rumor has been that Nick Caserio is going to leave the Texans and end up in New England. He said today that is not happening.
You know, before we take any questions, quite frankly, I'm almost embarrassed that I have to say anything. I mean, honestly, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street, but I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
We understood when we arrived, when we got here, that there was a lot of work to be done. And I think when you look across the NFL landscape, there's work to be done in every organization. And I think we've made some progress where we still have a lot of work in front of us. But I can't, I'm honestly, I'm almost embarrassed that I have to say anything, but I feel like I have an obligation to, to make that statement. I'm not leaving.
He's not leaving.
I guess he's not leaving.
That's what he says today. I don't know. He wouldn't tell if he's taking a quarterback at number 2, and that really is one of the biggest questions heading into the draft. They kind of hold all the cards. You know, Carolina's going to take a quarterback. You just don't know which one, right? What is Houston going to do? And depending on all the mock drafts that you see some mock drafts, they got quarterbacks going 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's not going to happen. But depending on what Houston does, and Nick Caserio did say today that he has taken phone calls on the number 2 pick. It is, I'm not open for business, but he is taking calls, looking at all the options. And then you think we argue about what people are going to do. It's not just us. Did you hear Shefty and Orlovsky today?
Annapolis thinks there's a real chance right now that they could sit right where they are at 4 and get potentially the second quarterback in this draft. There's a chance we might not see a quarterback go at 2 or even 3, and there might not be a team that trades up because the value in that isn't what we thought it would be. So Indianapolis may be sitting there with its pick in the litter, Anthony Richardson or Will Levis or C.J. Stroud. That could happen. That's a possibility right now.
I'll bet you 10
Stroud might be there
at a very nice steakhouse that two quarterbacks go in the first 4 picks. There's no question about it. I bet you $10. This is what I'll say.
Hold on, Dan. What kind of odds? What kind of odds you give me on there? Because that's obvious. Everybody's expecting that, right?
I'll give you 10 to 1 odds, Shefty.
Done.
10 to 1. 10 to 1.
10 to 1 on 10 bucks.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. If you're Indianapolis and you're banking on Houston passing on a quarterback and the Raiders who are sitting there, the Seahawks that are sitting there, the Lions that are sitting there potentially entertaining, and this class being as one, accomplished, and or two, talented, I would sit there and say you are rolling the dice.
Well, of course.
He's rolling the dice.
I mean, but again, those guys, Shefty, he knows everything. He doesn't know what's going to happen. And what does $10 get you at a real nice steakhouse, Dan?
Nothing.
Come on.
You don't even get a glass of water for that, do you?
And not even a good appetizer.
No, come on.
But I digress. At least they're taking our beer bet idea to NFL Live.
Well, they listen to the show. I mean, come on. You know that.
Well, I mean, all the smart people do because,
of course.
You know, what's going to happen. And again, the idea that Houston might be interested in trading out number 2. Now, Ian Rappaport from the NFL Network, he was on with Pat McAfee talking about what Houston might do at number 2.
I have heard all of that. That does seem to be the hot rumor now with, you know, and people ask me, like, is it possible the Texans don't take Stroud at 2? Anything is possible, especially, you know, the Texans and Nick Caserio don't always look at things like everyone else. I just don't believe it. Like, I just don't. Like, from my information, the people that I've spoken with, all of that, like, I would be surprised if the Texans do not take their quarterback of the future at number 2. You know, most people I speak with believe it's Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and then the others. Small gap, not like a huge gap, but they think it's those two. So if that's the case, if Bryce Young goes 1, Stroud should go 2. So, like, I hear all of this, and I get calls about it all the time because that's the season we're in right now. I just don't really believe it. And if it happens, I will say, like, yeah, I didn't see it, but I don't see it.
I didn't see it, but I don't see it. Look, Houston has the obligation to its fans, James Pleasure, to take some phone calls for that number 2 pick.
The only thing, and Pledge, grab a microphone. Don't just stand there looking at me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I seem to recall throughout this whole offseason, going back to the combine, going back to that there are 2 guys consistently talked about between Caserio and D'Amico Ryans that they really like. So they're happy at number 2, seemingly with either, if you go back for several weeks on their pre-draft comments. Is that a fair and accurate statement?
Between the combine and the NFL owners meetings, when we heard them speak, that has been unanimous. There are 2 guys at the top of this class, and they feel comfortable with either.
2 guys or 2 quarterbacks?
Well, the questions were about quarterbacks.
Okay, but I mean, it kind of feels like they're happy with either.
Mhm.
And there for a while, it felt like Carolina would go CJ Stroud, and I think Houston would have been thrilled to get Bryce because that, I think, is their number 1 guy. But
I don't know that they would.
But as it seems to shift, and now it feels like Carolina is going to be on Bryce, the questions are coming in. Well, how much did they really like CJ Stroud?
Look, just go back in history of the NFL. I know these guys are the guys, right?
Well,
They're the next Tom Brady and Joe Montana.
Sure.
I get it.
Yeah.
Right? But they might not be.
Well, of course.
So look, I think a team like Houston is much better off either trading that number 2 pick, moving down, or if you take a defensive guy there, you've still got some quarterback options. Look, Will Levis apparently is the most hyped quarterback in the draft or in the last 10 years, according to Danny Cannell. Now, whether that happens to be or not, I don't know. You got a Hendon Hooker sitting out there. You've got other people out there. Just look at the history. Name me a quarterback in the last, I don't know, few years. Joe Burrow, maybe. Who else? Patrick Mahomes, and he wasn't drafted number 1 or number 2.
No, and again, you look at, I mean, you can go with from the Baker Mayfields to
that's what I mean.
Whoever,
Johnny Manziel, Carson Wentz. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that just been busts.
Well, and again,
I'm not.
Just
what I'm saying
I
is,
like your head to explode. Dak Prescott was a 4th round guy.
There you go.
I go back.
I'm not convinced that either one of those guys are going to be those guys. They might be.
The easiest comparison that I think we can make if you're trying to project 10 years from now and looking at a draft class. And when I hear Houston say, there's two guys here, they're both the same, we love them both, where you can't go wrong. I just go back to Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning, because that's what we said then. Whichever one you get, it doesn't matter. They're both going to the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And only one did for his football.
Well,
Ryan Leaf has turned into a Hall of Fame person, but his NFL career, I mean, his podcast is called Bust for a reason.
These guys could be. It's just you've got to learn the lessons of history.
Yep.
You got to learn the lessons of history. And if you don't, you want to keep taking quarterbacks, keep taking them. But there's no guarantee in any of it. And history shows us it's been more losers than winners when it comes to quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. You okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
Cool.
It's a great point, don't you think?
21 and 32 starting quarterbacks last year were first rounders.
Okay.
Just saying. Dak Prescott is not a part of that list. I look at the San Antonio Spurs. Let's shift gears.
First rounders. See, that's a stupid stat, Pledge. I mean, I'm talking about one or two. One or two. Give me the number one draft pick that's a quarterback, and tell me how many of those guys are starting. You can't.
The number one quarterback, what?
That's first round quarterback. I'm talking about the number one pick in the draft. Number one. Or number two, if you want to throw that in there.
All right.
You're not going to find very many.
Sounds like he's about to send you to your room without dinner.
That's exactly what I'm about to do. Dude,
you're going to put you to bed early.
That stat means nothing.
You're going to take away your cell phone.
That means nothing. The first or the second pick.
No video games for you.
Exactly.
But you have homework. We got to talk Spurs. We knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. And it's going to happen tomorrow. We'll explain as we continue here on the Blitz. If you're looking for authentic sausage, the kind you could find in butcher shops back in the old days, then Kielbasa smoked sausage is what you've been looking for. You see, Kielbasa makes their legendary smoked sausage in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They never add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood. Real smoke, honest meat, slow crafted. What they say is in their products is exactly what is in there. That is what they mean by honest meat. At Kielbasa, they are proud their ingredient list is short, straightforward, and doesn't require a PhD in chemistry to translate, because the only way they can guarantee it's the best sausage you've ever eaten is by using only real hardwood with their uncompromising slow-crafted method, fresh spices, and yes, only honest meat, no fillers, no enhancers. If it's not the best sausage you've ever eaten, just give Michael Kielbasa a call and he'll give your money back. His phone number is on the back of every package sold. Real smoke, honest meat, slow crafted. Go get some Kielbasa today.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Oh, the Spurs lost again. We've gotten good at that this year, right? They lose a tiebreaker to the Houston Rockets, and now the third worst team in the NBA, meaning worst case scenario, Spurs fall no lower than 7 instead of 6. Still a 14% chance to get that Wemby fella. Yeah, and Jalen Hurts is celebrating tonight. Highest paid player in NFL history, $255 million extension today, $179 million guaranteed.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C. What's up? 3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with autosave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. Here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-280-2288. That's 800-280-2288. 800-280-2288.
Hurry and shop the final days of SpringFest at Lowe's. Right now, get an additional $300 off when you spend $1,996 or more on select major kitchen appliances. And keep your lawn looking fresh with savings on the Ego 15-inch string trimmer. It was $219, now it's $199. Shop SpringFest today because Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you grilled or smoked, and you could win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market.
So good and tasty.
Grilling with the Blitz. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know, it's a day of bad news for our San Antonio Spurs. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You thought the Spurs were done losing for the year, but that's not true. They lost a coin flip today to the Houston Rockets. See, we sucked as bad as Houston did, so a coin flip had to determine which team sucked more, and apparently Houston wins the we suck more coin toss.
Yeah, they won that. So now, yeah, they do suck more. You're exactly right. I was trying to wrap my head around that. Yes,
they by definition
they suck more
of winning a coin toss because the Spurs can't even win that. They get the second worst record. Spurs are third. All that really means is if things go horribly wrong for the draft, the Spurs will pick no later than number 7 in the draft. Had they won the coin toss, they would have picked no later than 6, which again, 6, 7, it doesn't matter. The 14% chance for Wemby is still very much in play. But worst case scenario, now we could pick 7th instead of 6.
I don't think that's going to happen, obviously. But because I think that the odds of them falling no lower than 4 are just huge, right? I mean, so yeah, they're going to most likely, I mean, worst case scenario, get number 4. That would still be kind of a disaster, I think. But Look, if you don't get one or two, or maybe even three, but I don't know if Brandon Miller's a guy that you build around. He's a piece, certainly, but if you don't get Wemby or the other guy,
we'll
you're in
see.
trouble.
I'd rather win the lottery than win the coin toss today, and I can say that as the guy that lost the coin toss. Right?
Absolutely.
Fair.
Fair enough.
We'll agree on that.
Yes.
The other part of the Spurs news that is coming, but you'll hear a lot about this tomorrow because the Spurs are going to the Commissioner's Court types to get permission to play outside of San Antonio again.
Does that scare anybody? That doesn't surprise me because Pop said as much in his final press conference or post-game conference in was that after the game in Austin or after the game in Dallas?
Well, I want to say is actually before the games in Austin when they were like, "Hey, welcome to Austin. We're going to do this every year." And again, we knew this was coming. It shouldn't be a surprise, but they're going to ask for the official permission again to play home games outside of San Antonio.
Speculate. What do you think the commissioners are going to do?
They're going to say, of course.
You think so?
San Antonio Spurs, whatever you guys need.
The one thing that I see here that I didn't know until today was that the Spurs, according to their contract with the county, they can do 2 games per year. So they're basically asking for a third is what they're doing. 2 in Austin and 1, we assume, Mexico.
Yeah, they say outside of the country.
Right.
Which is Mexico. And I do think the idea of having in their contract 2 games outside of San Antonio was probably originally always designed for international games.
Right, 1 in Mexico and
it could be anywhere. But I think those were kind of built in, not necessarily for Austin.
Because they've been playing in Mexico for years.
Yeah. But that is happening tomorrow. So you'll hear a lot about it tomorrow. Really not that much of a surprise. Really not that much of a big deal because it's still a minimal number of games. But when they get used to that Austin money,
well,
when does 2 turn into 10?
Let's just couch it this way, Jason, because it depends on when those games are and what they mean. Because we talked about it. Those games in Austin, the last 2 of the year, last 2 home games, and if those would have meant something, then I think Spurs fans would have taken that a little more personally than we did.
I believe they're all still going to be late in the year because isn't the agreement with the Moody Center, and I could be wrong on this, but I believe the agreement with the Moody Center and UT is it can't happen while UT is playing basketball.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're probably right.
UT, they don't necessarily want the Spurs there if that could interfere with their gate. They don't want the family of 4 to say,
makes sense.
Hey, we got Kansas coming to town. You want to go? Oh, no, wait. The Spurs are playing on Tuesday night. So let's save our money and go to that game instead. See,
makes sense.
They don't want that. So I do believe they're all going to be late March, early April kind of dates.
Well, that kind of sucks because then you're taking that chance that those could be big games.
Well, and it's kind of like the rodeo road trip. Why can't we play some of these games in the Alamo Dome? Why can't they be home games during the rodeo road trip? We're not used to them here in February, but because UT doesn't want them in February because UT is playing, they can't go then.
That's a great point. I never thought about that, but as successful as the Alamo Dome game was, not that you're going to put 70,000 in there again, but
sure they would.
Well, maybe they would.
People love going to a game and not being able to watch
it. Well, if it's free.
Well, it ain't free.
It's for me.
Yeah. Yeah, those tickets weren't free. But we were all there. Actually, I wasn't.
I wasn't there either.
A
lot of fun, though, I guess.
It is Josh Jimenez on YouTube Live, which you can go watch us on YouTube Live, says if Pop retires this offseason, did those last 2 games still mean nothing? Well,
I'm not sure what he means by that.
Well, we brought it up at the time. We don't know what Pop's future is. It would suck if his last games were in Austin and he doesn't get the send-off, but he doesn't want a send-off to begin with. So that last game, and we talked about it then, might have been the last time he coaches in San Antonio.
It could be, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the lottery. And is that what he's waiting for, to see what pick the Spurs get?
It's going to be interesting to see. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs happening tonight, get you set for the night in baseball as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck. part of the Ancira Itinado Complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a long-time Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. And you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira Itinado Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
It's the NFL Draft on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner.
The Dallas Cowboys select.
This is going to be a fun player to watch.
Next Thursday, join 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star for this year's NFL Draft. Live from Kansas City. Who Texans pick? Does Jerry make a splash? Who goes number one? And who's the next Mr. Irrelevant? Find out right here on your exclusive home for the Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're having any issues at the house with your plumbing, your AC, maybe your heater, you know there's one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. If you're dealing with plumbing issues, you know they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. It's also that time where you want to get your AC tuned up and ready to go for the hot summer months that are coming. And Quartermoon has great maintenance programs that ensures your unit is ready for every season. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Without the ones like you who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Like any good agent, we're here for the open house, for the closing, for handing over keys. But because we're realtors, we're here for so much more. Agents who are realtors volunteer at nearly 3 times the national average. We're working to broaden access to credit, increase affordable housing supply, and ensure fair housing for all. And realtors are bound by a code of ethics. We're here for it all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Get the last water softener you'll ever own and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE Kinetico.
Visit KineticoSA.com.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and for more than 28 years, I've been helping people injured in auto, truck, and motorcycle collisions right here in San Antonio. Since I've been practicing law, there have been several Thompson law firms open up here in town, but there's only one Jason Thompson, and that's me. My number is 900-0400. My firm is different. I've been successfully handling injury claims for more than a quarter century. I'm good at what I do. I care about my client, the individual, the person, the family. Building on that care and trust, we can get you through one of the most difficult times in your life. I handle the insurance companies, the medical billings, your legal claims, all of these issues for you so you can focus on one thing, your health and recovery. My job is to make your life simple in this very complex time. My 98% online approval rating is built on these principles. If you've been injured in a traffic collision, call me, Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400, or find me on the web, alawyerforus.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 210-615-7777 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The once-a-year jewelry event everyone waits for is here. Starting Friday, Diamonds Direct takes value to a whole new level with an extra 20% savings on just about everything. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, and more. You get Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable price, plus an extra 20% off. Thousands of engagement ring mountings included. Plus, acclaimed jewelry designers will be in store with an expanded selection. All the latest styles and trends, all on sale. It doesn't get any better than this. Diamonds Direct, store-wide spring event starting Friday. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Micah Parsons just had a adult tweet. Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow
is officially tax day.
Sure is.
I know we got our taxes done over the weekend. When I say we, my wife got those taxes done on Saturday.
That's what I thought.
I don't do them. I don't touch them. I don't want to know.
Wow.
But they were good. So we're happy. Micah apparently is not.
No, Micah just said he reevaluated his whole life. Said, I just did my taxes. Wow. I just reevaluated my whole life. That is hilarious. Now, I don't know what that means, right? Because, I mean, obviously Micah's making more money than he's probably ever made in his whole life. So that puts you in a different category tax-wise.
It does. I don't know if he surely has somebody. He's not doing like TurboTax, is he?
I wouldn't think so. No, I wouldn't think so.
We had to we weren't able to claim Erica this year.
No.
This is the first time ever we didn't have a dependent.
That hurts.
Oh boy. But then I called Erica, or Joanna called Erica, and was like, you need to redo your because Erica did her taxes, assuming we were still claiming her.
Oh wow.
So she's got to redo hers. I don't know, taxes.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that stuff. We're still doing ours. Gonna see if it's if it makes it. Well, we're not doing it, but a guy's doing it, and so it'll be ready. And if it's not, you ask for that good old extension.
Well, and then I'm guessing I'm not the only one, but I don't check my mail on a regular basis, so I don't know when it showed up.
Yeah.
But the letter from the Bexar County Appraisal District was there. And Joanna was like, I'm not opening that right now.
No kidding.
I don't even want to see it.
Dude, are those out already?
There was one in my mailbox.
Oh, my gosh. Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother ball of wax. Property taxes. Wow.
Always fun adulting, isn't it?
It is, right? Almost makes you want to get that old apartment going.
No, not really.
Jeez.
Not really.
I'm telling you, I don't know.
Way off topic. I'd rather pay a little bit more in sales tax and a lot less in property tax.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, we
am I the only one that feels that way?
No. Well, I don't know. We're on the same page here. But my gosh,
I mean, if it were an extra, I don't know, couple cents every time I bought something, I would never notice it.
The problem is with some of our political types is you got to use that money for what it was intended.
Oh yeah.
And I think somebody said, "What? We'll just take a little over here and put it over here.
Oh.
We can always pay that back."
Yeah, sure.
And it never gets paid back.
Exactly. If you are thinking you saw the Golden Knight parachute team today, you did, and you will over the next couple of days. The Army parachute team, the Golden Knights, practicing over at Stinson Airport today, tomorrow, and on Wednesday, which is very, very cool.
And if you saw them today, I wish you would have sent us a picture.
Yeah, if you saw them and you took pictures, all you people took pictures of that cloud. I'd rather see the parachute team, although probably a little bit harder to get pictures and good pictures of the parachute team. But if you were driving around wondering what the hell was going on, yeah, that's those guys, which is very, very cool. But that cloud stuck around for hours. I mean, you could have gotten gazillion pictures of that cloud, but yeah, something.
Dude, we were fortunate enough to see those folks at the Army-Navy game, the Golden Knights, and that was an incredible show. I mean, those guys can do things with a parachute as they're, coming down to the earth.
Yes.
They just scare the hell out of you.
That's why very few are able to do that.
Wow.
That's what it boils down to. You got NBA playoff game tonight, a couple of game twos. You got Nets and Sixers. Sixers won big in game one. And then Warriors Kings. I won't call it a must-win game for the Golden State Warriors, but it would be really, really good for that series to go long if Golden State got a win tonight in Sacramento.
It would be a great thing for Steve Kerr and company to get a win, but they don't have to.
But it would be nice.
It would be nice.
Joe refuses to say must win.
For Sacramento, it would be nice to get a win too, though, wouldn't it? Couldn't we put them in the same boat?
For them to be up 2-0?
Yes.
That would be nice.
So we could put them in that same category. Be nice to get a win.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Is it?
Sure.
Sure. You want to go that route?
Why not?
Everybody's in a must-win game.
Well, you told me on this show today, Golden State's not good on the road.
They're not. That's why it's imperative that they get a win tonight.
But not a must-win.
Well, I mean, it could be a must-win.
So what happens if they lose, Jason? I just want to know. Are they out? Are they done?
No, they're just down 0-2. They're in a big hole.
I got a must-win.
I got to admit, I doubt that I will watch a lot of NBA tonight. Playoff hockey starts tonight. My Devils taking on the New York Rangers. So I'm going to hurry home and put it on TBS to be able to watch that. Baseball's next here on the Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Follow Jason at Jason Menix and Joe Reinagle at Joe Reinagle 210 and always at ESPNSA.com.
Out the door! Out the door! Out the door! You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here!
KTFM Floresville. This is SportsCenter.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. The NFL grabs some April headlines as the Eagles sign quarterback Jalen Hurts. It's a 5-year contract. Team wouldn't announce the numbers, but ESPN's Adam Schefter says it's worth $255 million with $179 million guaranteed. And Schefter says you shouldn't be surprised because both sides have been working on it.
This is a deal that has been in the works for weeks, maybe months. The Philadelphia Eagles knew it was coming. And while Eagles fans have been waiting for the big blockbuster move from this franchise this offseason, here was the move today, keeping one of their own, a player who in January, the Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni compared to Michael Jordan.
That's Adam Schefter on ESPN's NFL Live. 4 games open up the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, including Florida at Boston at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the app. Getting underway momentarily on ESPN2. It's the Islanders and the Hurricanes. The NBA playoffs will continue with a couple of games. Philadelphia hosting Brooklyn, Sacramento at home for Golden State. Both home teams won the series opener. Knicks guard Josh Hart limited at practice today with a sprained left ankle, listed as doubtful for Game 2 of the Knicks series against Cleveland. It's Patriots Day in Massachusetts. Kenyans Evan Chavez and Ellen O'Berry win the men's and women's Boston marathons, respectively. And the Angels hold off the Red Sox in the Patriots Day game 5-3. Hunter Renfroe homers for Los Angeles. Up next, it's Amber and Joe and Amber.
Coming up Tuesday with the puck dropping on the NHL playoffs, Commissioner Gary Bettman